Hello, hello. A very good day, good afternoon to you. Welcome to another live stream with me, 320 Sim Pilot. And today we are taking the Boeing 737-900ER for a flight from here in Johannesburg in South Africa down to Cape Town. This is a route we've never flown. It's a country we've never flown in, I don't think, in any point in the last 3 years of the channel. Which must be coming up very soon, actually, the anniversary. And also, it's also in an airplane we've never had on the channel before, the PMDG 737-900. I splashed out. This was, I think it was $45 or $50. So, yeah, it's the full fare for another aircraft, but this is the biggest one, and it's, I think, quite an interesting airplane. Essentially born out of the need to compete with the Airbus A321, where the channel started. So this is certainly the Boeing version of the A321. The 800 does not count, and the 900 does not count. It's the 900ER, and we'll talk about why in just a moment. But thank you all for coming along. Thank you for joining us today, and it's great to have you all here with us on the stream. We are, as usual, on both YouTube and Twitch. Over on YouTube, just saying hello to Landing Gear 001. Hello to you. Thanks for joining us. James Atkinson, good evening to you. Thank you for your kind words. James says, Evening Sim Pilot, is there a route available? Great podcast, episode 3, by the way. So the route is available. It's on Discord. I've also put it in the YouTube comment section. I won't pin it, but yeah, there is a route available if you would like to fly along. But also, if you're on the Discord, you can get that there. And yes, podcast episode 3 is out. Sort of an exclusive for those of you live with us now. Excuse me, but yeah, it's I put it up on Spotify and RSS, so it's published. I haven't actually put anything on the Discord or YouTube channels yet. I will upload a YouTube version of it, but I want to just see how it's going in podcast, because the idea of the podcast is that you'll sort of get it through the normal podcast means and listen to it directly on Spotify. I don't intend to forever upload it onto YouTube, but I might find that that's the way it works. But anyway, either way, I'm glad you enjoyed it, James, and thank you so much. So that will be going out, like I say, in just a couple of days on the other platforms. Iglefuel, Greg, great to see you. A Boeing 777-300 ER enjoyer. It says hello. What are your PC specs? Exclamation mark specs should bring that up. And I was so proud of myself. You've just made me realize what I haven't done. I was utterly convinced I'd done everything today, and I said to myself, I've forgotten something, because I don't actually write a checklist for these streams, and I really should. I have been saying that for 3 years, like many things, but I will now put the route, and I've started CloudBot, and I will add the route to that, because that is the normal way to get the route. I don't know why I didn't remember that. So if you put exclamation mark routes or exclamation mark specs into the chat, you will get a message from CloudBot, hopefully explaining. So that is now up and running, hopefully. So yeah, thank you all for coming along. Dave Geimer, I hope you're doing well. Quirty Moose, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in to say hi, even if you're too busy, but thank you for joining us. Ed Haslam, good to have you here as well. Dan, Piano Learner, and Rubs, and Sparking Market, I hope you're all doing well. Yes, Thursday stream. Yeah. Weekends aren't always as available as they once were over the last few weeks, I must say. Did you update the FSU IPC after Sim Update 12 to help stop the status? Oh, I have not. I did not know we needed to do that. So I'm on the same FSU ICP. I might check that. Pol9, thanks so much. How's it going with the pair waving? Pol9, thank you for your €6 super chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you for coming along, Pol9. Sorry, I realise I'm speaking very fast. I'm just going to slow down a little bit. But yes, Pol9, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. I'm doing very well. I hope you are doing the same. And it's great to see you here. Thank you for supporting the channel as you so often have. It's very kind of you. No Name says, I regularly fly this route in real life. Would be cool to see it on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Excellent. Yes, I'm excited to see it as well. I know that Johannesburg and Cape Town are two very, very popular places. I've never been to either in real life, but they're very popular. It's places to travel to on holiday, and Africa is an amazing, amazing continent, and there's so many great things. So yeah, it's something I'm looking forward to exploring more of. We have done a group flight in Tanzania, which was great fun. So now we'll do a few of our commercial routes. And this seems like the right sort of aeroplane for it, but it's totally wrong, as usual for me. I'll explain why. And Alexander Powers, great to see you as well. Over on Twitch, we've got Four Prawns, great to have you there. That's Cirrus Pilot, who's just getting airborne from Heathrow, so can't stay long, so may already be in the air. But thank you, that Cirrus Pilot, for stopping by. Mr. Panacita as well. James Atkinson is over there. Flight Dispatch 320, great to have you here. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. The Flight Dispatch will be flying along, which is great. Victor Wolf, MSJN, great to have you here as well. And Trouble Demon. Yes, so stand by. Jimbo is in Val Thorens in the French Alps. Very nice. Oh, I'd love to do that. Yeah. So let's see. So CloudBot should be up and running. Good. So Twitch and YouTube should get access to CloudBot. Certainly, I pay Streamlabs to make sure you both do. So let me know if it doesn't work on either of those. And I'm now merging the chats. And here we go. So what do we think of the PMDG 737-900ER? You actually get the 900 and the ER both included in this package. Oh, by the way, there's no FS traffic today. We've had a lot of stuttering issues, and it's been put down to memory leaks and so on, but I was still having it even after the last update. So I have removed a few things. So we got rid of the fly-by-wire sim bridge, we got rid of FS traffic. That's not to say these are problem programs. I'm just simplifying the simulator, and I will keep stripping it back until we have a functioning sim, and then we can rebuild from there. So this week, that's what we're trying. It could be something to do with the way I've got them installed, or something that was out of date, but anyway, there we go. Quoty Moose is also on YouTube. Excellent, good to see you, Quoty Moose. Thanks for joining us on both, helping our statistics. Alex Van der Pad says, Airbus pilot venturing into 737. Yes, so we've done a few Boeings. 757 was our first one, actually, and I really want to get back in the 75. I can't get mine working in X-Plane 12. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But anyway, 737-900 ER today, which is similar to a attempt as a replacement to bridge the gap for the 757. Now, it's never going to replace the 757-200. It could perhaps fill some of the shoes of the 757. Sorry, it can't replace the 300, but it could fill some of the gaps left by the 757-200. Slight problem with the 737-900 is, as you stretch smaller aircraft, their range actually reduces. The 757 had excellent range. It was easily transatlantic without too much of an effort, whereas these aircraft, they have extra tanks available to be fitted. My drone's rotating, sorry about that. Extra tanks had to be fitted and so on. But as you stretch an airplane, it gets heavier with the same design and engines and so on. It usually runs out of range and starts getting worse. So the shortest ones have the better range. There's A318s that could fly across the Atlantic, but a 21, the old style 21, maybe not so useful. I mean, they can all do it probably in one go, but you'd need to not carry much weight. But yeah, anyway, so here we have the 900ER. Boeing built the 900 originally. You could only carry 189 passengers, which is barely a step up over the 737-800, which I believe is similar. And the reason is they didn't put any extra doors on it. So it had the same doors, and therefore it ran with the same weight limitations, same takeoff weight as the 800. So I really don't know what the point was. And lo and behold, it only sold 52. I think it would be useful to customers who wanted to fit sort of club style seats, or first class seats, or business class seats into their aircraft. So where you've got the lie flat beds and that sort of thing in the front of the airplane, such as every major international airline has on their long haul aircraft. Now, a lot of airlines don't bother with that on short haul aircraft, which I suspect is part of the reason it didn't get progressed into the 737-900s. Which is part of the reason I think it didn't do so well as a total guess, because on short haul flights they tend to do a different way of delivering the that business class sort of product. So yeah, it would work if you were going to fill half the airplane with fancy pants seats that took up more space, because then the weight wouldn't be an issue and the passenger numbers wouldn't be an issue. But if you wanted to fill it with economy seats, then yeah, you needed this version, which is the ER, where they fixed the problems they had. They put in the extra door, so now you can have the right number of passengers. It's got better weights. You can fit extra fuel tanks, so it's now got a better range. So all around more useful. And this aircraft was delivered, 505 of these delivered, and that went all the way up until 2019 with the last deliveries of the 900ER. So modern aircraft all round, really. And obviously now you've got the MAX versions that are out as well. Randy says, not even the MAX 10 could replace the 757. Hopefully the 321 XLR can fill that gap. I don't think so. Maybe. The 321 XLR has a chance, but the magic of the 75 was not only, if you look purely at passenger numbers, you could say, well, the 737-900 can take 200 and something, 220 passengers, like a 321. 321 can actually take a bit more now. But if you look at something like a 787-800, these aircraft hold similar numbers, like sort of the low 200s, but they're, like I say, configured differently to have the fancy lying flat seats all around and so on. But even so, 757, you could fill it with passengers, cargo, fuel, and send it off quite a long way, whereas 321 XLR has a chance of doing that, but it will go quite slowly as it does it for a start, because these aircraft don't fly as fast, and you may start running into weight limitations and so on. We shall see how airlines use it. But they might not want to, big money for airlines, depending on what your airline's business plan is. But you know, obviously there's good advantages to being able to put business class seats in these aircraft, and that's an advantage of a wide body. Anyway, I am now just rambling on about the economics of aviation from my not so experienced viewpoint. But here we go. This livery is available on flightsim.to, a really nice version of the 900ER, slightly fictional, I believe. But yeah, it's well, it's not fictional. It's just, I don't think it was ever on this aircraft. But so there we go. But I really like it, and I like the winglets we get as well. These split scimitar winglets. So I think it looks really nice, and I was desperate to take it for a flight. So this seemed like a good opportunity. Anyway, there we go. Let's jump into the flight deck and see if we can get going. It's cold and dark. I've got no time pressure today, so don't expect anything too quickly to happen. But yeah, nice weather. I've added the eyebrows, which nobody probably has on the 900s. I can't imagine anyone has these, but I couldn't resist. The winglets are, I believe, just an option in the PMDG menus. But yeah, there we go. So Mr. Pedicito says that livery looks nice. Yeah, totally agreed. What else have we got? Trouble Demon says I had stuttering after the update. Ended up just going from ultra to high end as a quick fix. Okay, we shall see. We shall see. Update FSUIC PC. If you haven't, it's been giving everyone stutter. Okay, I'll do that, Richard Dusty. Yeah, okay. That's the thing I should have done then. That is my error. Indeed, Kevo's NG, this is a Boeing. Yeah, we will manage. We will manage. However, this will not be particularly accurate, but I will do my best. We are getting more used to the Boeings. We fly more aircraft like it. The only thing I noticed is I don't have a checklist, of course, because there's no EFB. So my plan is I have a checklist that I found on Google. Let me bring that up. So I'm going to power up the aircraft myself because I don't think that checklist is yet. Oh, maybe that is a sort of instructional checklist. Okay, yes, that's too long to be a normal checklist. Let's see if we can power it up. Let's see if we can power it up. I think we have ground power available. We shall find out. So we're going to put the battery on. And we're going to put the standby power to auto. How have I lost that already? Let's just put these on. Get some lights for you all. Nice bright flight decks in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I do like that a lot. Standby power, there it is already in the auto position. So that's good. Now we don't appear to have a ground power unit. So that's not working out for us. So I'm going to put the left center fuel pump on, which is left pump. And that's center, and that's on. Or is that the center? Left aft fuel pump. That's the left aft fuel pump. No, that's the one we want. Left aft fuel pump, left center pump. Just following this checklist, and then we can start up the APU. So there we go. So we've got to get fuel to the APU, so it comes out the left tank, which seems very traditional. A lot of airliners do that. The Dash 8 did that. The Airbus does that. Fuel from the left fuel pump. And then we're going to start it up. That horn, by the way, is the airplane telling us I haven't got electrical power, I'm draining battery, this isn't good. It's a warning for, obviously, like the situation we're in. Alaska Airlines had a few 900s that have eyebrow windows. Oh, they did. Thanks, Wheelspin Report. There you go. Good knowledge. Excellent. Peter says, beautiful livery, my home. Excellent. Yeah, it's very fun to be flying in South Africa. Chris says, finally, I'm so happy you're doing flights for South Africa. I've been waiting forever. Yeah, we got it. I promised that we'd mix it up, and yeah, I feel like we're doing well with that. The streams have been. I do make sure that we don't do them all in Europe anymore. Right. There's the EGT spiked, and now it's reducing down. So this is sort of an instructional simplified checklist I'm using. It's quite good, actually. This is from Fly UK. I don't know Fly UK, but they've got it published on the internet. AP generator comes on. There we go. Now they can have some electrical power. Maybe that isn't a horn. Maybe that's just the electrical noise of this airplane. They'll put the position lights on. Now we're on a powered up airplane. You don't have to do this. They're already in steady, actually, so you'd leave them there. But yeah, quite normal to leave them on. Logo lights. Definitely want the logo lights on. Beautiful livery to show off. Cabin lights as required. Emergency exit lights guard closed, so we will arm the emergency exit lights. Passenger signs go on. Well, we haven't done the fuel yet, so they won't go on yet. IRS needs to go to nav. Just 2. Airbus has 3 of these things. The 737 a little bit simpler. Packs go auto and high. I'm not really sure about this checklist, actually. This is good instruction, but for me, I'd rather do a flow, so I might stop that there. So we're powered up, we're lining the RSs. Let's go into a float. So fuel pumps can stay off, but we're just providing it for the left APU. In fact, we should probably start up here. So that's low pressure because there's no hydraulics. Yaw damper on. I think that will stay there. Yep. We'll leave these all on both and auto, and then just the left pumps are on. Wipers off. Generator is on the APU. All our IDGs are just collected and in line. Not going to worry too much about going through all the electrics like that. Equipment cooling is in norm. Auto and off for the seatbelts. Right wipers off. Pressurization 0. Cabin altitude of 500. So that's about right. That's what I would expect to see. That's interesting. Does it only pressurize to 5,000? Runs at higher diff pressure than the 320. Interesting. Is that true of the 800 as well? So better pressurization system than the Airbus, or better strength of the airframe for that. And over here, landing elevation. Well, I don't actually know Cape Town. We'll look that up in just a second. I know we're going to cruise at flight level 360, so I'll put that in. 360. And it's definitely an auto. Very, very important. Let's get some air on for the passengers. Packs in auto. Isolation valve to auto. Bleeds on. Reset fan auto. And I'm not too worried about the cargo heating. And this can all stay as it is. They need aligning, which we'll do in just a moment. Good. So we are getting there. Now, why don't these lit up? Let's get some lights on down here. Every time I look at Boeing overhead panel, I appreciate the ergonomics of the Airbus. Indeed, the ergonomics of the Airbus are just so good. So good. I really like the PMDG, I've got to say. It's grown on me a lot. Every time I use it, I go, yeah, this is a nice add-on. Just works. Just really nice. 150 feet for Cape Town. Great, thank you. Yes, it was not too far up. 150, there we go. Take your word for it. Transparent overhead on the sides. Indeed, this is the eyebrow windows. And apparently Alaska did have these, so we are not too inaccurate here. But there we go. By the way, flight time today of 1 hour 55. Quite a long flight. It's a big country we're covering. Oh, we're not even covering it. But there we go. Boeing looks so much more complicated compared to Airbus. It is indeed, in some ways, this is the hardest part, this panel. And I'm quite used to it now, having done it so much on stream, but this is the hardest part. And look at this, probe has auto setting, auto and on. So can I leave them in auto for this? We are in a slightly fancier aircraft, so this is quite fun to see. I use fancy in the lightest sense. Right, FMC, not FMGC, FMC 737-900 ER engine rating, because we can double derate, enter IRS position. Well, we know how this works in a Boeing. We go to pos in it. We're starting at FAOR. And what gate were we at? I knew something else I didn't do in time, which was get the charts ready. Please don't make me log in. Yes. That was our last flight. You remember? Chicago down to Atlanta. Unload that flight. Imports from SimBrief. The sim is set to about, I think I've got it set to about midday. I wanted it to be daylight, otherwise the sun would be down. So yeah, a bit early actually. 4 in the afternoon. Local time. There we go, that's the route. Yeah, it's quite a long way, a very straight, direct route. Not much else we can do, but it's a big place. It's a big place. So, if we go to airports, we're in Johannesburg. 2 big runways here. But what I'm going to do is find the parking charts. I'm going to do all this and then it won't have the... That's not that one, is it? I'm going to do all this and it's not going to have the coordinates anyway. So we're on probably Charlie. Let's have a look. Count them up. 1, 2, 3. Charlie 3. Yes, there we go. So last position does match the Charlie 3. I'll put that in there. And now we're aligned, which is good stuff. I want to get some more lights on. So let's move the seat back. Let's do the lower panel, which should give us that FMC. But do set IRS to align now. It takes a long while. Yeah, IRSs are all aligned. That's it done now, Alex. But yeah, thanks. It is worth telling me these things because we do we do miss things on these streams. So there we go. Good stuff. Big sleepy note. You haven't missed takeoff. We have got plenty of room to go before we do that. So there we go. Now let's put in the route. FA. Oh, every single time since I've ever flown the Boeings, I do that. In the Airbus, you have to retype it. It's the one thing Boeing does automatically for you. That's not true. There's several things it does. But yes, 337. We are the Springbok 337. Have I got that right? Is it SA? SA 337. No, but it wouldn't be, would it? It would be, we need the 3 digits, which is SAA. Springbok 337. I don't know the departure runway. I don't think we have any air traffic control. No, we don't have any control. So I will have to make it up. And flight plan request. Now, I don't think this is going to work. No, it's not going to work. So I'm going to do it myself. Which is, let's figure out where we want to depart from. Now, I'm just going to get the weather. One thing with the PMDG is I'm not so good at figuring out the way to do the ACARs and the weather downloads and so on. I assume it can do it. We're still waiting for the EFB, as it were, which is obviously the normal way. Or we could do it through the ACARs. But anyway, they've got northerly wind 320, 11 knots, cav OK. So it's going to be runway 03 of some variety, which is 40, 70 degrees off. 034, yeah. Wind is 320. So we're not going to taxi all the way down there. That's probably a landing runway and then vacate up there. So we're going to go for runway 03 left. Good stuff. And departure. We got going via Ragul. So we will take the Ragul 3 Alpha. There it is. Let's activate that before I forget. Now we go to the next page, and I will just have to put the route in. Is there an easier way to do that from here? Oh, not like that. Shruti left is currently in use for departure in real life. Miku says, "Thank you very much." Yeah, we can sort of see the route here, but I'm gonna grab it from my old style flight plan. After I go, we'll go direct to Uteba. And then we'll go direct to Apmin. And then we'll go direct to Evesi. Then we go direct to Egnom. And then Edas. Sorry, I'm not going to read much of the chat until we get underway, because we actually have quite a long flight today, so it'd be better if I get this done. And it's the wrong points. Let's redo that. This should be Edas. Can I just delete that one? There we go. Das, and then we 1 Bravo into 19. Island Zulu 19. That's 1 Bravo. I like that. 4 arrivals. That's all you need, isn't it? That's all you need. No transitions. Simple. So that's the route. And let's go back to init. They're into perf init. So before I do this, I am going to now load up the aircraft's FS actions. Fuel. How much fuel do we need? Well, we need 9.4 tons. So I'm just going to put 10 tons on. Or 9,999, which is about half the tanks. And we need a zero fuel weight of 59.4. Quite light, actually, zero fuel weight for an aircraft of this size, but there we go. And that's the fuel. Maybe I need to do payload. 59.4. There we go. And my understanding is that is now correct. That's what we've actually got. So 59.4. So that could control 128325. Oh yeah, Fazza Center. No, you're right. We'll speak to them. 128325. Where's my radio panel? I've actually lost. I've lost my my radio panel on my desk, so we'll be doing it all through here. Let's just load that up. 128325. Of course, the time zone here, the time change here is very small, if there is any time change at all. 2325. What's the local time in South Africa right now? We can have a look here, actually. We set the time, so it's 16 local. So they're 2 hours ahead of UTC. We're 1 hour, so they're an hour ahead of us. So yeah, so getting into the evening there, 6:30. People might be coming online to control. We shall see. Good. So that's the route. That's now set. 59.40 fuel weight, and the takeoff CG of 26.6. I'll just write that one down. 03 left is in use. Yes, that's what we're doing. Sorry, yes. Good. Flight Dispatch 320. Thanks so much for the $6 tip. Really appreciate it. $6.18 tip. Very kind. Flight Dispatch says, working in the same industry, I understand how busy it's starting to get. Are you looking forward to the summer rush and additional destinations? With the added chaos of the French ATC strikes, thanks for taking the time to stream. You're very welcome, Flight Dispatch. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and thank you for taking the time to come along, chat, and fly along. Summer's great. Flying around Europe in summer is fantastic. It's short haul. Flying short-haul aircraft in Europe is a different job in summer to winter. Now, we have a lot of strikes going on in all various different things. There were strikes in other places. Sorry, that's me just checking my levers. But yeah, there's strikes. There's very, very busy. And the only thing that I would say about summer is slot delays and things like that are, if there's strikes, that's the sort of thing that's going to happen, and that can make what should be a relatively normal day turn into a very long day indeed. But yes, it's fun. It's fun flying around in summer. I enjoy it. You get more daylight. You get to see more places. Lots of approaches are spectacular in the daylight that might just be a little bit average at night, or even a bit more challenging at night. But yeah. Just set the QNH there, get ourselves back to sea level, or to, sorry, the correct level, 500 feet up. But yeah, I hope you're looking forward to it, Flight Dispatch. I'm sure you'll be very busy dispatching aircraft over this summer. It's going to be quite something, I'm sure. Right, anyway, that is our route. But thank you so much again, Flight Dispatch, for the very kind tip. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm sure you're gearing up for summer as well. But it's great. I mean, I'm not complaining. Like I say, the disruption from strikes and so on is obviously unfortunate, but then that's the sort of thing that just happens in life. And what is really great is that everyone wants to travel, and what a difference, to when this channel started. So no complaints there. Lauren V2500, thanks so much for coming along. I hope you're doing well, and thanks for moderating. Do you connect Unicom or local? Wasn't sure what you did there. I should have done that.
5522.
There we go.
Ground for X-ray, readback is correct. Report ready.
That's quite loud, isn't it? But we shall see. So I'm going to leave it there until I'm a bit further on the process and we get given a different departure. Right, so done the fuel. We've got the 10 tons on board. Done the payloads, and we've got our takeoff CG. Doors. That's open at the front. But that's fine. Pushback we'll do shortly. Nothing else to do there. Okay. So 0 fuel weight. 59.4 reserves. It's quite a lot of reserves. Our alternate is a long way. Now I know SimBrief chooses some strange alternates. 2.6 tons plus a final reserve of 1.1, so that is 3.7 tons. That's a lot of reserve fuel. It's not uncommon to land at under 3 tons. It's very normal, in fact. Cost an X6, though we may upgrade that as we go. And that recommends 359. We were planned at 360. Cruise winds 252 at 30. Unable to 50 knots, no problem. Our clean speed could be higher, and our planned fuel we're going to go with 10 tons. Good. Perf init request. What happens if I press that? Don't know. Next. So, should I select a D rate? Outside air temperature is 21. Oh, it's just going to copy all that stuff over. No, we're going to leave that as it is. Where did they copy this from? Was this what I typed in? No, this is what I typed in. Okay. Yeah. Any help with this page? What should I be doing here? Flight dispatch says, I love some of the different destinations we dispatched to and additional aircraft brought in. I work in a major London airport and love the craziness it brings. There you go. That's great to hear. Andy H1302 is watching on a phone, so can't tag anyone. But thanks, Andy, for coming along. I hope you're doing well. And thanks for being one of our moderators. Really appreciate it. Lauren B says, any plans on coming back to America soon, specifically the Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo area? Got my approach certification a few weeks ago, currently working on my Detroit. Excellent. Yeah, we'll be back in America soon. I only didn't because obviously the last stream was America. I know it was a while ago now, but yeah, so I just thought we'd mix it up. But yeah, absolutely. Now what do I do here? I think we'll do a climb 1 departure and we'll take off at a D rate. But should I now put in, there you go, climb active selected. Should I put it in outside air temperature? It's 21. So what if I put in 45? Then it will reduce it. No, it hasn't reduced it at all. Oh, it has 55. They're CFM 56s, so I assume they would derate in a similar style. So let's do that. So we'll put derate to 55 and we'll do 26k. Let's hope that's not too much. 92% sounds like quite a high takeoff thrust, but this is a big aeroplane. Long runway though. Let's do flaps 5. This is not how performance is done in the real world. But those speeds look about right. 70 tons, flap 5. This is good. This is what I would expect for a 321-ish. Oh, it's not that hot out there at 20 degrees. Where's the temperature? There you go, 21. Yeah. You can't actually calculate DO properly without the proprietary OPT. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Lauren B. Yeah, there we go. So that should work out something similar now. Okay, 03 left. Next page. Takeoff reference. I'm not going to bother with that. We never have so far. So we've got a route, got the performance, got the weights. I think that's ready to go. Let's just check through that departure. If we do that, I can go to plan, charts, Raggle, out to 5.5. SV6, so that's just gone slightly further, but so there we go. And then we go to intercept 281, 281, and then we go direct to Raggle, and there it is. Great. And that's the arrival. Straight line there, although there. That's pretty good. High thrust will be needed because of the altitude. Indeed, although 500 feet, sorry, 5,500 feet. Johannesburg's 5,500 feet. $5,500. In my mind, that was 500. Right. In that case, this makes sense now. Yeah, 5,000 feet is sitting it. No, it doesn't make sense because the cabin altitude should be times 1,000. That's 5,000. That's 10,000. So it is only going to pressurize to a normal sort of altitude. Okay, right. Now it's all starting to make more sense. In that case, very good point. Shows how little I am very much sheltered in my European flying. So that changes things. I would not expect those numbers. I wouldn't even derate the climb. I wouldn't even necessarily expect to derate the takeoff. I'm going to clear that out. What if I just put in the actual temperature? You can't do that. No, you can't do it in the Airbus because it won't accept a derate at the same temperature. There's a limit on it. You basically just have to go toga. I think we're just going to go toga. Because the last thing I want to do is not get off the ground. And we are, there you go, 102%. Because otherwise I'm just making it up. We're not the heaviest thing in the world. I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine, but that would be very embarrassing and not worth it. So there we go, right. 145, 147, 154. That's what we'll go with. Trim 4.5. Good catch. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Now, these things, if you fly to somewhere in real life, you would obviously have a brief. So airlines will make briefs for every airport that they fly to. or most airports that they fly to. So you'd have those, and that's what alerts you to these things. But also the charts would alert you as well. We would have eventually picked it up when I tried to put in a stop altitude and realised, but there we go. You don't just suddenly teleport into an airfield like you do when you're flying on flight sim, which is a very different style of of flying, certainly. So let's now set up our MCP, mode control panel. So we're going to go straight ahead and then 281 and then intercept to 241. So I'm going to put the course bar on 241, which is just going to be ready for that intercept. (241), and then we want to put the V2 in, which is 154. Yeah, I'm sure they could derate out of Johannesburg. I'm sure there's some option, but I don't know what it would be, so I'm not willing to try it out. 031 with initial heading, and we will get our clearance in just a moment. 8,000 feet looks like the planned stop. I'll just put it slightly below to remind us we haven't got that. I'm not going to worry about the FO's course bar, frankly. Put some airports on. Put terrain on. There we go. Good. I think we're starting to get there now. I don't know. I really don't know. At this altitude, can you still do pack off takeoff? Yes. In fact, you're more likely to need to do a packs off takeoff. So if you turn the packs off at 5,500 feet, you'll get more performance out the engines. And there's nothing wrong with passengers having a cabin altitude of 5,500 feet, but it'll make for an interesting pressurization schedule. It's going to have to start pressurizing very quickly. Yeah, really interesting. We should have a look how it goes. Johannes says, I'm sure 88 to 90 will be fine. Yeah, I'm sure you're right. But I am not going to guess today. But yeah, if I wasn't on the stream, then different story. But yeah, it'd be too embarrassing. Right. That's done. That's done. Let's get back to the last bits of our checklist. Still in the APU. That's all set up. So, transponder we need to get a clearance for. We've done our IS max speed, heading, takeoff, runway, and initial altitude. Your temper is on. Window heat. This says put the window heat on now. So do window heat. That does not have an auto position. So window heat on. Flight altitude we've done. Landing altitude we've done. Flight directors can come on. LNAV, VNAV as required. Let's arm LNAV and VNAV because that's what we are planning to depart in. Minimums, ref, barrel, or radio. Well, it doesn't matter. We're not going to use it right now. And I'm not going to set it now. Put the auto brake to RTO. Radios are done. And we can close up the doors. In fact, let's do that over here. That would be easier, wouldn't it? Do that the wrong way around. Should really get the... Yeah, let's put the chocks back in because they would be set. And then we will bring up a tug. Good, there it is. Right, let's go to traffic control.
21 right, comply with the Raggle 3 Bravo departure. Airborne frequency.
21 right.
128.325 and your squawk 1234.
21.
Roger, clear to Cape Town, flight level 360, runway 21 right on the Raggle 3
How is
Bravo
that possible?
Departure with you on 128.325 and an ICC score of 1234. Springbok 377.
Don't arm VNAV, just LNAV. There we go.
Wilco.
Does that mean you couldn't open the doors again as cabin pressurizing? No, the cabin will not pressurize on the ground. No. 4 prawns. Good to see you though. Thanks for joining us.
The PQNH is 1018.
Oh, they're on head pascals. That's good.
Safi 130, report the field in sight.
Right, let's ask. So,
Springbok 297, South Africa. Thanks. You are confirmed destination, George?
Okay, Lauren V says
You're
we
on a
can
left
RVNAV.
downwind at flight level 300.
We'll try and remember
confirm you're
to
ready
do that.
for descent.
Lots of Airbuses around. The real route's down on the 320.
Descent to 2,000.
I can't hear that other pilot.
George QNH is 1020. And you can maintain your
I'm going
friendly
to do VNAV. I'll leave both. LNAV, VNAV, whites. This controller's covering a large area. I'm not sure why the fuel pumps aren't on yet. When does that come on this checklist? Next, 4-star checklist, okay. Centre, Springbok 337 in Johannesburg on stand Charlie 7. Boeing 737-900ER. We have QNH 1018, request clearance to Cape Town.
Springbok 337, good evening. You are cleared to Cape Town. Flight, sorry, Springbok 337, would you mind refiling your flight plan, please? I haven't received it.
Okay, we'll give it a go. Springbok 337.
You guys are going to confuse me tonight with those call signs.
Yeah, I'm confusing myself already. Let's try
We're going to keep trying.
337.
I'm just going nice and easy.
I think it's there. What's going on? Maybe are they preferential onto 2-1? It could be. Oh, I see. We're all there.
013, good evening. You are radar identified under radar control.
Oh, there's 377 and 337. That's not great, is it? Yeah, the 77 is the accurate one, I think. No flight plan. What am I doing wrong? SAA 337.
Springbok 297 executes a right-hand turn onto heading
I think what I'm going to do. As far as the 332. Let's go 332, otherwise it's going to be too confusing. So 332 is... That was the number I was going to use for this because it was the next number in my list to use. We did a 331 recently. And that's a number I just make up. I just sequentially go up one each time. So I did 332. And then I discovered when I tried to file it that 332 is the actual... by unbelievable coincidence, 332 is the actual Cape Town to Joburg flight number. So when I tried to file it, it wouldn't let me. Someone was already using it. There we go. We've taken it. We've got 332. I'm going to need to reconnect here. Right. And I'll change this. Ba-ba-ba.
Saturday 130, PEQNH once again is 1018. You did for the right-hand visual approach runway
332. There we go. Okay. We're getting there. Let's see if that's worked.
All stations on the ground at Johannesburg. It's going to be Springbok 377, Springbok 337, Springbok 1 for X-ray, and Kestrel 1999. Kindly call Johannesburg Tower on 118.1. I'll speak to you shortly.
Speak to you soon. Cheers.
Thanks. We'll see you soon.
Right. Now we're going to get Natus.
118.1. Thank you very much.
Yeah. 2-1 right. They're using with the tailwind. Wind is 340 at 6. So we're definitely not going to derate that.
Springbok 297, continue the
Information
right
Alpha.
hand turn onto heading 060.
Tab 181. Let's do that. Right. Let's try again. Johannesburg, good evening. Springbok 332, stand Charlie 7, Boeing 737-900. We have information Alpha QNH 1020, request clearance Cape Town.
Springbok 332, Johannesburg Tower, good evening to you. Information Alpha is correct. You are cleared to Cape Town, flight level 360 on request. After departure, runway 21 right, comply with the Waggle 3 Bravo departure. Initial climb, initial climb 8,000 feet, departure will be with South African Control 128.325. Squawk for today 7311.
Thank you. Springbok 332 cleared to Cape Town. Expect climb flight level 360. We are departing runway 21 right, Raggle 3 Bravo departure. Stop climb altitude 8,000 feet, and it would be squawk 7311.
And Springbok 332, readback is correct. Call me ready for push and start.
Wilco, Springbok 332. Right, 7, 3, 1.
Johannesburg, Tower,
One.
Control 999. I believe we've had our clearance off the South Africa controller already. Do we need to get again a few?
So that's good. We got our squawk code.
Negative, I've already got your mark just cleared.
We're going to go to
Welcome,
8,000
thank
feet.
you,
So that's obviously only 2,500 feet above the ground. So it's a very low stop altitude on that climb. But there it is. And we are departing from 21 right. So that's all changed. So depart 21 right. Same departure. Raggle 3 Bravo. Unable 250 knots. Same issue. But there we go. And if we go to plan. Raggle then Utaba. No, you have to delete on the Boeings, don't you? There we go. Delete. Invalid delete. Why is that?
Johannesburg Tower, Springbok.
Well, take off, out to the intercepts, and then Raggle, and then we'll go from there. We'll figure that one out once we're underway. So that's good. Now we need to go to our takeoff. So we're not going to derate. We're taking over the tailwind at 5,500 feet, 20 degrees. Flat 5 we'll do again for the second gradient, or the second stage gradient, which will be very good. And then we got V2 154 still, 154. So that is all good. Right, let's get our clearance. Springbok 332 ready for request push and start, Charlie 7.
Springbok 332, hold position, company traffic pushing to your left.
Hold position, Springbok 332.
And Tower, Springbok 3.
This is pretty bad luck. We're all,
ready message,
all right next to each other.
Charlie 2.
There's a few over there as well. Quite a lot of us today again. You say it and then discount.
Also
There we go.
position, I'll call you back in a second.
Roger, hold session.
There you go. In the Airbus, you can just delete that discontinuity. Alex, thanks for the subscription.
Johannesburg Tower, Capital 999.
Here we all are.
Stand
Sounds like James is a Kestrel today, which is excellent.
No, push and start is approved facing south.
Now I'm going to do the next part of the checklist so we're ready to go. Auto throttle arm. Left, right and centre fuel pumps on.
Capital 999, thank you.
On. A and F fuel pumps on. Electric hydraulic pumps on. So now I would check with the ground crew we're clear to pressurise, and then we'll pressurise. Anti-collision lights. I won't do that just yet because we're not about to go, so I'll just hold the checklist there. That is an aircraft, so we're on AP electrical power. We've got bleed pressure.
Tower, lovely good afternoon to you.
Fuel.
Ricardo 190.
I think we're in a good place.
Ricardo 190, Johannesburg Tower. Hello.
Let's set up our wing view.
Lovely good afternoon to you, sir. We're South Airbus A320 Julius Sierra November Golf. We have information also on board. With Cockpit Bay Alpha.
What's best today?
Requesting flight level 390, Johannesburg to Toliss.
That first one's pretty good actually. Let's do that. Let's go with that for now.
Ricardo 190, you are cleared to Mauritius.
Good. What else have we forgotten? Surely something.
Departure runway 21 right. Comply with the XOB 3 Bravo departure. Initial climb 8,000 feet. Departure.
Nagelswell says yes. As an Airbus specialist, I did some 747 flying and somehow managed to amend the plan. Yeah, well done.
Okay, sir, Woodpool 7363, that's going to be departure 21 route, XOB 3 Bravo, altitude 8,000, usually airborne frequency.
Gaffer Simulations has excellent scenery for FAOR in the sim market. Thanks, Patty. Yeah, should have done that.
Ricardo 190, readback is correct. Call me ready for push and start.
Ricardo 190.
For about 377, Johannesburg Tower.
Fuel is done, so that can go on.
377, go ahead.
Springbok 377, your push and start is approved facing to the east. QNH 1020, caution, the company
We've definitely lost out here.
737-800 will be behind you.
This will be a full hour before we get going.
Start approved
And that's
facing east
before you even get off
and,
stand. This is impressive. Even for our channel, this is a new record.
Springbok 377.
How did this happen?
Johannesburg Tower, good evening, Sapphire 418.
Sapphire 418, Johannesburg Tower, hello, go ahead.
Morning, we'd just like to check, we previously got IFR clearance from South Africa Control, we had to disconnect. We just want to check if our clearance to King Shark is still active.
Sapphire 418, Sunbar, I'll call you back.
I think this Airbus on our right should be moving. Yeah, their beacon's on. So they'll go any second. Then we'll have to wait for both of them to taxi out, and then we can go.
And Tower Springbok 377.
Springbok 377, pass your message.
Just to confirm, am I pushing on to Lima in front of the 737 that's currently on Lima?
A-phone.
Roger, thanks very much. Springbok 377.
Sapphire 418, Johannesburg Tower.
Very good.
Sapphire 418.
Sapphire 418, good news, your clearance will still be valid.
That is exactly the right thing to do. And that's something that you'll get in the real world. Remember, this is, we have a luxury here that I can jump outside and swing around and decide where other aircraft are. But really, this is all you can see. And I can go, well, I can see someone's there. And that's all I can see. You know, and the first officer can see that aircraft, and that's all they can see. So a lot of communication has to happen, because obviously the ground crew, they can see an awful lot more. So you've got to get it right. And the problem is the ground crew usually do the push. They can see what's going on, but they don't hear the clearance. That usually goes via the pilots. Some airports they do, the ground crew get the clearance directly, which actually makes a lot of sense, I think. But it's unusual. There's a couple of airports in Germany that do that. So it's if you're not sure, we have to ask, because the ground crew often ask us a question. You'll say clear to push facing east, and then they would say to us, well, what's going on with the aircraft there? And then we would ask the tower, what's going on with the aircraft there? You know, you get this strange sort of pattern. Flight dispatch says, sorry, I thought they would have pushed you first. No problem at all. Lauren V says, hold position feels so overused internationally now that I've trained others as an American controller. It baffles me why you have to be told to hold position when you say you're holding short or at the gate awaiting push. Standby for push works well enough. So standby, the word standby, I'm talking mainly obviously about Europe here. In America it's all very different, but the word standby doesn't require a response. Standby is actually you're not supposed to respond to. So if the controller says to you stand by, then you're just waiting to hear from them. But controllers in Europe will often, not always, but they will often say something like hold position, because hold position I have to read back. It's a clearance. I am cleared to hold position. So they want you to acknowledge that, and that's why they would say that. So stand by, I'll call you in a minute. They do sometimes say, don't get me wrong, but if they think there's any risk of confusion here, they will say hold position. The other reason not to say standby for push is in lots of radio communications, we try to avoid using words that could be misinterpreted. So there's a reason we say, as we get to the holding point, we'll say ready for departure. Nobody gets to the holding point and says, I'm ready for takeoff. Because if someone hears takeoff, they might think they're clear for takeoff. It could either be the controller might get confused, the other aircraft, somebody sitting on the runway might hear the word takeoff, somebody about to land on that runway might hear that someone's taking off and get confused or disorientated, especially in sort of foggy situations where you can't see. So we use the word departure to say, I'm not trying to take off, I'm ready. And I would say that's probably why some controllers like to use the phraseology of hold position, because they want me to say it back and they don't want to say the word push. Lauren says, don't know why it requires an acknowledgement. You're not allowed onto a movement area without an express clearance. So the reason will be, they want you to acknowledge that you've heard that you're not allowed to go anywhere. That's all it is. They're nervous. Not nervous, but they're just making triply sure that you can't misinterpret that instruction as a clearance to push. So that's what it comes down to. it sounds strange and overly cautious, but
Tower Springbok 377.
misinterpretations on the radio are so much easier than you'd ever imagine. If you think about the crews swapping around similar call signs like we've got here, we had 377 and 337, you know, and these things do happen even, you know, across airlines.
And we'll port ready, Springbok 377.
Then it's so easy. 3 and 2, for example, are easy to get the wrong way round. So easy. Hence why I said we're the 337, not the 327, because I thought I heard the controller say 2, you know, and you wouldn't think so, because 3 and 2, they're different, right? But on the radio, they are easily swapped over. It's really amazing. And to this day, there are errors in this sort of stuff. Aircraft taking clearances. Just recently, we saw that aircraft cross the wrong runway.
Survey 418 is ready.
So easily done.
Survey 418, taxi holding point 2.
Lauren B says, we definitely don't use takeoff, unless expressly meaning so. We just deal with push less, I suppose. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You know, you could argue the stakes are slightly lower with a pushback because the ground crew can see behind you. It's more that you'll mess up the entire plan. The ground crew shouldn't push you into another aeroplane, but it has been done. It was done at Amsterdam Airport a couple of years ago. So anything's possible. If you can imagine it, someone's done it.
Southwest 418 at Foxtrot, give way to the Springbok A320 that will be passing from your right to left on Alpha.
Well, they're going to be halfway to Cape Town, and we'll be sat here. This is the way it goes sometimes. What do you think about the looks of the 737-900? Do you think it looks nicer than the 700?
Sorry, Springbok 14 X-ray, ready for taxi.
Springbok 14 X-ray, taxi holding point, runway 21 right.
George Duncan says, hello Captain, my simple FCU has arrived. Haven't printed the parts yet. Thanks for the review at work, so we'll catch the stream later. Have fun. Thanks, George. Yeah, great. I'm glad the review was useful for you. I've got my simple FCU over there. It's not...
Springbok 332, Johannesburg Tower.
Go ahead, Springbok 332.
Springbok 332, once the company 737 has passed from left to right, pushing start is approved facing east, QNH 1020.
Once the company 737 taxis behind, push start approved facing east, QNH 1020, Springbok 332. Excellent. Now, I don't have to do that. 262, is that alright? Feet? Meters? 80 meters? Standard L? No, we want to dot the I, cross the T. No, standard L. Turn nose right by 90 degrees. Chocks are removed. Good. So waiting for our colleague behind. Oh, they've gone. So we'll finish up the checklist then. We'll put the anti-collision on, which I believe is the red beacon on the 73. This can go to transponder, which it was. Let's finish up that checklist.
Springbok 14 X-ray, give way to the SAF SM.
Parking brake release, ground equipment removed, engine area clear. So brake released. Oh yeah.
So is that last call for Springbok 14 X-ray?
Springbok 14 X-ray, A firm, give way to the SAF 737.
Where's the start button
that
gone?
will be passing from your left on Foxtrot, straight ahead of you.
Giving way to the SAF 737, who's going to be joining me from Foxtrot.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone. There we go.
Cockpit to ground.
Goodness me.
Go ahead.
We'll burn on that extra fuel we took sitting here.
Pushback and start. They want the tail to our left.
Knockbox Note says, Johannesburg Tower here. Apologies for the slight wait. No problem at all. Not a problem. This is exactly why we're on VATSIM. These are the real things that happen every time we go flying. This is why people are late. This is why flights get in late and then your flight's late. It's just the reality of flying. Do I have a clock to start? Yes. Go.
Johannesburg Tower, Survey 418.
SAF 418, go ahead.
Right,
Yeah,
starting
if we can change our plans
engine 2.
for intersection of M departure, runway 21, right?
I'm going to turn the packs off.
In that case, you can
Get the pressure up.
taxi holding point November for runway 21 right via Alpha. You'll be number 2 in line.
I think that's going to work. Let's start engine 2.
Taxi holding point November for runway 21 right, so Alpha November, number 2 for departure.
What should we do? 20? That's probably enough. Engine 2. Fuel flow. EGT.
0, you can taxi holding point November, runway 21 right via Echo, Alpha, and
I never have my audio
November,
settings
ready.
where I want them.
Okay, so for the point November, 21 right, Takeoff for November.
See if that works better.
Correction 190.
Gone a little bit far, but not bad.
Capital 999, ready for taxi.
Not too bad. We'll be in the taxiway.
Point 21 right via Foxtrot, Alpha, and Quebec. Report fully ready.
There you go, Lauren B says default pushing the PMDG always puts me through a terminal. We've done alright, only because we have a double width taxiway here. This could probably take an A380.
Do you mind if
Right,
I just
starting engine 1.
Tower, do you mind if I just hold just before
Ground.
Echo, just trying to do something on my FMC?
Spinner 1 for X-ray, that is approved, and there should be a A340 that'll pass from Echo.
A340, excellent.
You can taxi behind him.
Alright,
20%.
Yeah,
Making that number up. Fuel on. Looking for fuel flow. There it is. Fuel flow. Looking for EGT. There it is. Oh, there's fuel flow there as well. We've got all the features on this one. I'm guessing the brake should be set at this point. Haven't heard from the ground guy, or I missed it. There we go. There it is. Okay. Let's get rid of the tug. They're gone. Don't need that, hopefully, for ground stuff anymore. Let's get back to map. I usually taxi with the map view up. I think it helps know which way I'm pointing. So now, for example, I won't turn right because I know I need to go left. It does remind me that my heading bug's facing the wrong way. So we'll scroll that all the way around. That engine is stabilised. After start is the riskiest part of the 737 departure procedure for me. So that's good. That's gone back to auto. I'm going to do it straight away because I'm too nervous. Let's get the generators over. Let's get the bleeds on. APU bleed off. Auto packs and cross bleeds. Gen off bus for the APUs, definitely off. APU going off. And I'm hoping the Pro Heat will just come on. That's my assumption. Nothing on the recall, so that suggests it doesn't have anything to tell me right now. Let's get terrain back on. I don't know what's happened to terrain. Oh, there it is. Goods. And let's run that after start. Well, no, we can't do that yet. Let's do the actual normal bits. I'm thinking too much about the 737 parts. So we got auto brake to RTO. We need trim set to 4.5. Pretty much. Here's what's going on here. That's funny. It won't actually go any further forwards. How interesting. 4.5. Let's set the flaps to 5. Which is there. My hardware doesn't have the right notches, so a little bit of guesswork there. Good. Now let's try the checklist. Engine start checklists. We're done. Right, before taxi. Generators 1 and 2 on. Pro Heat on. Well, they're in auto, so we'll see if that works. Wing anti-ice is not required. Engine anti-ice is not required. Packs auto. ISO valve auto. APU bleed off. APU off. Engine start switches continuous, of course. Continuous.
Negative,
Flaps 5 set and indicating. Elevation trim 4.5. Flight controls, yes, we have to do them ourselves here. Oh, sorry, you have to do them yourselves on the Airbus before I get in trouble, but we just have to do them before we taxi in the Boeing.
Spinner 1 for X-ray, Johannesburg Tower.
So flight controls are checked, free and correct. Lower D you can go off, depends on the airline, but that will pop up now if there's an engine problem on takeoff. Let's get our taxi clearance, see if we can figure it out.
If you can continue, or if you want to go to the end of the runway,
Lima,
you can taxi
Alpha, that would be
and then Golf 9.
hopefully what we do. We could even go to November. We've got full thrust takeoff, so I think we have no trouble on a 4,400 metres. This is a huge runway. It's going to be a massive taxi.
Yeah, I'll probably go full length, so that's Hotel Sierra 3, I think.
This is basically a long haul stream at this point. This is going to take about hours. Springbok 332, request taxi.
Springbok 332, taxi holding point runway 21 right via Lima, Alpha and Quebec. Report fully ready.
Lima, Alpha and Quebec, Wilco Springbok 332. I might
Tower,
ask
Springbok
for November as we go
377.
there.
Is there a possibility that we can go up to Alpha? Just need to finish off our checklist.
Turn off lights, taxi
Springbok
lights,
377.
clear on the left, clear on the right,
Clear now.
brakes
Hold
released,
short to Alpha.
let's go.
Thank you very much. Hold short to the
It's my mistake, I should have got going straight away at the
Springbok
start. So here it is, 737-900, first time appearing on the stream.
Surface 418, the wind 340 degrees, 6 knots, runway 21 right. You're okay.
Doesn't have any nose wheel lights, I guess they're all built into the wing roots on this model. Taxi checklist, there isn't much to do, we just do, yeah, okay, before takeoff checklist, yeah, ignore. These are sort of, it's like a procedure slash checklist we've got here instead.
Roger, you will be number 3 for departure.
I have not seen the LVFR 320 CEO, Sean. No, interesting. 4 points says I shouldn't have had that same cup of coffee. Yeah, indeed. MSGN says I like the slow pace today. Okay, good. As long as people are enjoying it, I will get some comments complaining about the slow start.
One for extra that is approved. You can taxi.
We'll do a break
Golf
check.
10, and if you want Golf 9
good.
is also available for you to taxi, but Golf 8 is also approved.
I'm actually disregard. He's moving on to the runway house.
Do I fancy? Do we fancy an engine like that? You let me know. Going on to Alpha now, so we'll take this left here. Lima we're on, Alpha is the left turn. Then we'll do the last remaining little bits. Why is auto brake disarmed? There we go. That seems to work. I wonder what happened. It might be left over from when I ran the throttles up. Ah, yes, call sign will be incorrect now. Good spots. Right, there goes the first traffic next to us. I'm going to go to change the call sign. Like I say, 332 actually goes it's the other way.
Contact South Africa Control now, 128.325. Enjoy your flight to King Shaka. Bye bye.
128.325.
James in front, excellent. Let's get that TCAS to TR.
377, are you fully ready for departure? You still need a couple minutes.
Let's see.
Springbok 377, just having a few issues.
Hoping the
with,
Pro P is fine. We've still got no warning
just a
about
quick
it.
question. If I was to disconnect and reconnect, will that affect my flight plan and clearance?
Course bar 241
377
is no longer any good,
as long as
actually.
you don't change anything else on the flight plan, it should still be valid on my end.
Chart's
Okay,
not working
if you
now.
want me,
I'm not
just
too
gonna
worried
hold
about the
Alpha
course
to
bar. It
quickly,
doesn't actually
close
matter
it
for
down
what we're
and
doing
restart
today.
it, and I'll contact you straight when I'm back.
Springbok 377, Roger. Mikado 190, just confirm you're fully ready for departure.
It's 262 we're intercepting this time.
Mikado 190,
I won't jump the queue here.
The wind 340 degrees, 6 knots, runway 21 right, clear for takeoff.
262, there we go. And that is a 380. So I could try and jump the queue. Always worth trying. Could be that we're going in a different direction. Oh no, we're not going to jump the queue because there's somebody taking the intersection. The 380 is taking the intersection. And then we are going to we'll try the same trick. So we're going to go for, so they're going from November. Let's try the same, Springbok 332 will be ready from November as well. Just in case.
Springbok 332, Roger, you will be number 4 in line for departure.
Okay, copied. Would you like us to go full length then?
Springbok 332, if you wish to do that, or I'm happy for you to stay November as well.
Okay, thanks. We'll hold it in November, Springbok 332. That way we can see everyone take off past us. That'd be good. I'm using the rudder pedals. My stick twist does not work. It's really, really glitchy. Now let's hope I don't sail straight past November. So do November there. Racing wheel, of course. Yeah, that would be good. Krista, good to see you. Krista's with us.
And Springbok.
Quoting Moose has gone full length.
Quebec, ready for departure.
Springbok 14 X-ray, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Nice and wait, runway 21 right.
We are by far the last one out here. That's entirely my fault. Took far too long.
Johannesburg Tower, Springbok 377 back with you on Alpha. Just want to check flight plan and everything's okay with you.
Springbok 377.
1, 2, 3. And we are 4.
Good on my end.
Won't take too long.
Brilliant, thanks very much. Appreciate your help with that. And we are fully ready.
Springbok 377, number 2 for departure.
Here we are then.
Order number 2 on
November.
number 2, holding short Alpha, Springbok 377.
Then we'll run through our checklists.
Johannesburg control Kestrel 99, holding short 1.
Kestrel 999, you are on number 3 for departure, call you back.
Number 3, Kestrel 99, thank you.
Ricardo 190, if you haven't crashed by now, you can contact South Africa Control now, 128.325. Enjoy flight, bye-bye.
Now, we shouldn't be over the stop bar, but that's not a realistic stop bar, I don't think. So this would actually be the runway infringement, but you would expect the stop bar to be a little bit further along. Usually they want it to be out the way, but not always. Yeah, true, it is pretty far across on that chart. So don't look at it then. We're here for the view. Right, let me just finish up that checklist as well. So we've done parking brake is set, fuel flow reset, then rate, centre pumps we've done, de-ice not required, cabin lights done, flight instruments, engine instruments are all checked, takeoff data is checked, nav equipment is checked. Next will be landing lights, strobe lights, taxi lights, and we're done. Strange we're using a tailwind here. But there we go, that's the way it goes. Four Prawn says, would Tower let you go before the others, or is it strictly in order? It would depend. They can do whatever they want. It's their train set. So Tower could have put us in front and no one can say anything. Maybe we're ready and maybe the aircraft at the front. So let's say the aircraft on the runway now says, well, actually, we're not quite ready. We're waiting for our cabin crew or something. Then they'd let me go from the intersection. So by being ready, I can take advantage of that. But it's rare. If everyone's ready, then it's not usual for them to let you just cut the queue just for your own amusement. But it could be that if, you know, in real life, all these aircraft are unlikely to be going to the same destination at the same time. So what they would do is split you up based on where you're going, because they could take off aircraft one after each other if we were all going different directions. But if we all go the same direction, they have to separate us anyway. So there's no advantage. But let's say all these aircraft at that holding point were going one way and I wanted to go another, then they could squeeze me off in between quicker than if they made me wait. All these different things.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Line up right, runway 21 right, Springbok 377.
There goes the mighty Airbus. James is happy for you to request a push in on me if you want. No problem at all. No. We're doing this properly. And what I'll do is I'll... I wonder if... Can this reverse a little bit? Let's see. And what I'll do is I'll... I'll overtake you in the air. I reckon I can be a bit quicker. This is, I'm certain, forbidden on the 900. Not really doing a lot. There it goes.
Scribble 14 X-ray, contact South Africa Control now, 128.325, and say fly, bye-bye.
128.325 for Springbok 14 X-ray, thanks for the services, bye-bye.
It's dropped indeed, James, indeed. Oh, there we go. Brake set. Auto thrusters turned off, so rearm that. And let's just do a config check. Ah, it does the parking brake. So the Airbus doesn't do that with the parking brake. It's very good. It knows. There we go. Config is good. Brake set. What we could do, as this is going to be an hour and a half until we get in the air, let's up the cost index. We have a bit of extra fuel.
Triple 377, the wind's 300 degrees, 5 knots, runway 21 right, clear for takeoff.
Yep, plenty of fuel on
21
arrival.
right, clear for takeoff, Springbok 377.
Castrol 999, line departing South Africa's A320, line up runway 21 right.
The stream is now approved by the Society for Gratuitous Power Packs. Excellent. Flight register switches, yes, good spots. They are, no, they're on. Yep, they're all good. On. LNAV being overarmed. 154. So when we take off, we push these forward, then we click on that, and it will be like pressing the toggle switches, and then auto thrust should run the engines up. Big plane, this, yeah, it is a big plane. But this is a huge runway. What is the takeoff distance we get? Of course, it's not on that chart. It never is on the chart you want. Right, 21 right. On the threshold, 3,900 meters. That's landing on the threshold. Takeoff is. Then we'll just publish it here. Oh, well, I'm sure it's hidden somewhere.
Triple 377, contact South Africa control now, 128.325, have a safe flight to Cape Town, bye bye.
Lionel says,
128,
welcome to South Africa, home for me. Thank you very much.
Thanks for great ATC, Springbok 377.
Piano Learner says, in Stefan's from Eurowings 320 approach videos, he as captain always advances the throttles to take off even when he's only pilot monitoring. Is that common? That is, depends on the airline. Relatively common, yes, relatively common, especially on the Airbus, to have the captain always do the thrust levers. That way it's their decision if they reject or not all the time. Yeah. Coach Moo's got a direct AirDAS, there you go. Excellent. Miku says, 21 right from intersection November is 3183. There you go, plenty of runway. Landing Gear says, how long will it take from cold and dark to take off in real life? Well, assuming you don't get stuck with traffic like this, you would, other things like boarding and so on are going to get in the way. But if the aircraft is, let's say you're not boarding and you can get on and go, you could be starting engines within 20 minutes, having done everything properly. Maybe to do that you'd need to have briefed before you got on. But yeah, 20 minutes would be not a rush if you just got on the airplane and everything was ready and off you went. And then airborne, 10 minutes after that if it's a small airport, so 30 minutes maybe is totally doable. It's unlikely because you'd have to be cleaned, catered, load sheets, everything else.
A320 left to right, line up away runway 21 right, and just be advised, try not to infringe the runway again.
After departing, company from the left, line up and wait, 21 right, Springbok 332. We hoped you hadn't noticed. The other thing airfields have...
22,000 round flying, can they take to my office by tonight?
Okay. Oh dear. Excellent. So there goes the traffic. Lights on. What's the landing lights? There they are. There goes traffic. Brakes released. Finishing up the checklist then. Landing lights, strobe lights, taxi lights, transponder, traffic and clock. There we go. Strobe and steady. Yeah, infringing runway like that. That's an instant safety report. That's not what you want to do. Caused by me misjudging the turn, and I was sort of ignoring it, thinking that was not the correct stop bar. But it looks like it might actually be where it is in the real airport. Beautiful plane. This looks great in the sim.
Castrol 9999, contact South Africa control now, 128.325, have a safe flight, bye bye.
See if we can get this turn right.
128.3, thank you for your services, good night, goodbye.
This sim. Unreal sometimes, isn't it? Overdid that. We're definitely right at the centre line. That'll do. It's only about 100 quid. You're not out too much from that, says RMV. Excellent. Michelin says, hi from Rio de Janeiro. Have a nice night and thanks for all your videos and knowledge. You're very welcome. Wouldn't say this video counts, but yeah. Not books. No, says you should have mentioned. I should have mentioned you can alternatively bring a cheese pizza to the tower afterwards for overrunning and stuff. Oh, there you go. Well, that's probably cheaper than £100. So that could be the way forwards here. Yeah, in real life, never crossing a stop bar. It just doesn't. You just don't do it.
332, the wind's 30 degrees, 5 knots, runway 21 right, left takeoff.
Left takeoff 21 right, Springbok 332. Right, let's go. Stabilise at 40. Brakes released. Button N1 toga. Off we go, finally. Off to Cape Town. Slow acceleration, tailwind, 5,500 feet elevation. There's the airspeed, there's 80 knots. Glad we went toga for that intersection. Look at this, very slow acceleration. Gently, gently. Look at that. Gear up. And the pitch, just 12 degrees pitch. That's what you do in an engine failure in the 320. Getting a bit of energy now. There we go.
332, contact South African Control now 128.325. Enjoy your flight to Cape Town. Bye-bye.
128.325, Springbok 332. Thanks very much for your help. Bye-bye. We've now got ARM, LNAV, VNAV speeds. AP1. Or I should say Command A. I don't know what they say actually. And then we've got FMC speed, LNAV, VNAV alt. It's going to level off at just 2,000 feet. Yeah. Gear is up. That's good news. Now let's get the flaps retracted. 128.325. We have, so we'll do that.
Yeah. South Africa Control, South Africa 418.
Go ahead.
South Africa 418, we'd just like to pop into the galley for 1 to 2 minutes.
Well, they're up to.
Bring me some coffee, that's approved.
Got something stronger, South Africa 418.
There's 1.
Now it's approved for 4 minutes.
And we can go to 0.
Deal.
We've got pizza.
Oh, I'm getting hungry for pizza. South Africa Control, Springbok 332. We are on I've forgotten the name of it now. We're on one of the departures, and we're going to make our right turn shortly. We are level 8,000 feet.
Burger 332, no worries, I see you. Radar control, time to flight level 150.
Contact level 150, Springbok 332. Excellent. 1.
013, turn left, heading
5 0.
310.
We're in VNAV. Now I'm going to press Alt Intervention, I think, to force it up. M1 LNAV VNAV speed. Set standards. And that is giving us 15,000 flight level. Great. Gear is up. It won't let me turn it off. I'm going to get a lot of comments about that. But yeah, that should go off.
And South Africa 418 is back.
Speed brakes are disarmed. Packs are on and pressurizing. Landing lights. Turn off the runway lights.
Okay, South Africa 418,
Release to auto.
App mate, into the hold at app mate, D-Day.
No cautions. Away we go. Look at the size of the city.
And into the hold
Fantastic.
at and await further instructions.
MSFS 119 there you go. It's happening.
Next time, bring me with you. South Africa 418, you are just make it.
Sorry, MSFS wants pizza.
Alrighty, proceeding to Lima Echo to
beautiful.
Tango 1, South Africa 418.
013, you are correct. Turn left wing 260, you cleared the island approach from wing 29.
10,000 feet.
So go around up the
Landing lights off.
customer sheets that wagon, right?
I'll leave the seatbelts on because it's been a short time since takeoff.
So apart from 0013, which was the other aircraft calling me?
After takeoff check is gear up, auto brake. Oh yeah, auto braking it off. Engine start switches off, gear lever off. We can't do that, but yeah, we should do that. Runway turn off lights off, cabin lights as required. Ah, climb A or B engaged. That's right, because we are still in. It's in climb. That's good. So we're in climb. We're on standard. Landing lights are off. Next will be seatbelts and center fuel pump as required.
South Africa.
Go ahead, Springbok 332.
Correct, 332, climb to flight level 360.
Thank you, climb up with 360, Springbok 332. Now that.
Correct, 332, you are cleared left turn direct to Airbus.
Left turn direct Airbus, Springbok 332. So 360. That is a direct shortcut. Look at that speed. That's what Cosnex 99 gets you. There's no direct page. No. DAS. Previous page. This is pretty clunky, I think, compared to the Airbus system. But there we go. Nav. Now we are too close to that line. That's just no good, is it? So let's go. Can I change the Cosnex now? Surely I can. Index. Perf.
South Africa Control, 7418 is ready for descent.
80.
7418 descent to flight level.
There you go. Small margin.
Descend
Let's do
and
that. See if we can catch up to the others. Put the traffic on. Bit of a headwind, no surprise there.
Camera 772, you are cleared dying position. Abex. It is 013, runway 29.
This control's a little quieter. Let me just
280 degrees, less than 5 knots to land.
up the audio. Yeah, I should have mapped the gear to toggles, which I keep forgetting to do that. But yeah, so it's just holding it in the up position, even if I try and put it off. Sorry about that, but there we go. Doesn't seem to generate any warnings, but it just would run the hydraulics the whole flight, which is not ideal. Airbus automatically turns it off for you. So there you go. James Atkinson says, I flew air tours in 2002 and was allowed on the flight deck at cruise. It was phenomenal. So sad you can't experience that again. Yeah, it is a shame. It is a real shame. This is something we get to see every day, and people could have experienced it with us, but now, nope. You've basically got to be in the industry already. $625 miles to Airbus is a long way. It is a long way. Yeah, amazing. So that gives us an arrival time of 17:10. 15, 16, 17. So it's 1 hour and 40 minutes from now. Oh dear. We might have a break in this cruise. Sun slowly setting. It might be set by the time we get there. It's amazing, really, what the ground that these aircraft cover. You know, we're in the climb. We're already doing 420 knots over the ground. It's fantastic. This is how you can get. It's basically like time travel, modern aviation, isn't it? That you can get from these two towns in that sort of time. When you look at the amount of ground we're going to cover, it'll take you months. Imagine trying to do this on horseback. Yeah, it would take you forever.
Osprey 255,
Or
good evening.
driving,
I'll get you clearance shortly.
or whatever other method humans have used to get around for the last thousands of years. And in the last 100 years, we've suddenly come up with this. And suddenly, you can do it in an afternoon.
Osprey 255, you are cleared to Port Elizabeth, flight was 290 request. After departure, runway 29, maintain runway heading, climb to flight level 100. Departure frequencies with me 128 decimals.
You've been flying airlines for over 10 years.
56.
4 Prawns, thank you so much for your $40 tip. Really very kind. 4 Prawns says, always great to join one of your streams. Thank you for all the varied content. Really glad you appreciate the variation. 4 Prawns. That's what. That's something I enjoy a lot more now, to mix it up from just the Airbus. I love the Airbus, but I like all these other aircraft as well, so I do enjoy streaming them. But yeah, thank you so much, 4 Prawns. Incredibly generous. Thank you again for supporting the channel. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for your very kind tip.
Springbok 14 X-ray.
Go ahead.
Yeah, can we leave cockpit for a bit? Say 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, really appreciate it, 4 Prawns. Very, very kind of you. Somebody else having to take a break after an hour and a half of trying to get ourselves off the ground. We didn't used to have such big groups. This was more. There was a period in the early days of the channel where we had groups this size, and then they sort of reduced in size to just sort of 2 of us, and now we're back to the big groups. Yeah, it's great fun. But yeah, thank you, 4 Prawns. Really appreciate it.
Saturday 418, descent to flight of 150.
Descent maintain flight of 150, Saturday 418. South African Control.
Spencer Edgard says, and the landscape goes through several dramatic changes along the way. Indeed, yeah. We should keep an eye. We need to keep our eyes outside.
That is approved.
That's why I wanted to have this at in daylight. Looks like quite a lot of farmland here. I suspect it won't be that all the way, but I don't know. I don't know the geographic properties of South Africa. Look at the detail in this aircraft. Really good. Great textures. They've still gone for this sort of super clean look elsewhere. A few light marks. I remember, was it PMDG who came out with when they made the NGX in FSX, and they put a bit of grime on it, and they were they were criticised, or some people were not happy with that. Captain Vickers has very kindly super chatted 449. I believe that's rand. Have I got that right this time? Let me get. I hope I get that right. But yeah, thank you, Captain Vickers. Really appreciate it. Captain Vickers says, have my airline written exam this weekend. Cleared the exam, but failed the sim check on the 320 last time round. Any tips? Rupees.
Unfortunately, there's no further ATC.
That's just that's me getting confused with where we're streaming. Thank you so much, Laurie. Thank you, Captain Vickers, for the very kind 449 rupee super chat. So, good luck with your written exam. Failed the sim check on the 320 last round. Any tips? It's tricky. I can't give out tips unless, you know, I can see what went wrong. So I wish I could. The main thing would be, you know, I'm not entirely sure what sort of phase you're at either. So what you're doing in the sim check at this phase, you know, is it an assessment for joining the airline, or is it a type rating test? So I am sorry. I wish I could help a bit more, Captain Vickers. Thank you very much for the super chat. All I'll say is, if you know what went wrong last time, have you thought about how you can stop that happening again? So what are you going to do differently that's going to make this one different? But don't get too distracted with that. Don't lose focus of all the other bits that went well. So just have an idea of how you're going to prevent yourself doing that. And that's the other thing with flying aircraft is knowing how you're going to fly it. So, you know, I'm sure there's examples here today where I'd have got something wrong, and it's, let's say you're going to, I don't know, that takeoff. Like, how was I going to fly that takeoff? Well, it was going to be a longer takeoff roll, so I was going to need to be aware that the elevator would be more sensitive because the aircraft would be flying faster. So I could have sort of prepared myself for that a bit earlier. Whereas what actually happened was I rotated and the nose sprung up quite quickly because we were flying so fast already. You know, and I could have prepared myself for that by just thinking through the steps a little bit more. These are some ideas, but I don't want to change your way of doing things now. So yeah, all I could say is whatever happened last time, see, try and learn from that one. Go from there. Sorry though. And thanks again for the tip, super chat.
Go ahead.
We would like to request 10 out of Cockpit.
MS-772, that's approved. Report back.
We'll go MS-772.
And thanks for the subscription, Captain Vickers. Lauren B said it would say ZAR if it was rand. And then a bit of a spelling test.
Mccoy 302, stand Bravo 10, quick push and start Atlantic area.
Beautiful weather this evening here. Stunning.
Mccoy 302, Lanteria United 1019, pushback spot approved, plane to the west for runway 25. Sorry, that's to the east for runway 25.
Push and start approved, face the east, Macadu 30.
Well, we might be reversing the time a little bit as we get there. That sun could be just gone down. I think it will do actually by the time we get there. This low cost index is giving us a long old climb out. Captain Vickers, thank you again for another 449 rupees. Really very kind. And Vickers says, it's my airline selection check. I have had 0 failures throughout my training. It was just a weird day. Got thrown off. Practicing better this time. There you go. So yeah, if you know if you've had a bit of practice, a bit of experience, your head might be a bit more ready for it this time round. You know, these things are hard. They're hard to do, especially when you're early in your career like that. So take what you can learn from the last one. That's all I can say. And yeah, keep nice and calm as you go through it. Well, you see logged on as facts, which is of course Cape Town. So that's great. Trouble Demon says, I wish Microsoft Flight Simulator planes had Stream Deck button integration for camera views. Yes, me too. I don't have a Stream Deck, but I would get one if I could do that. Right, master caution, fuel, sensor tank is empty, sensor tank pump's going off. Recall, nothing else. Great. But yeah, thank you again, Captain Vickers, for those 2 very kind super chats. Really appreciate it, and all the best. Good luck for your check.
377, report your Mach number.
Oh, there we go. The first question of what Mach number are people doing. Hopefully we don't get asked to slow down, and if we do, I'm going to try and negotiate a different flight level.
77,
Because we've got light winds, so
sorry, South Africa.
Won't matter.
Springbok 377, guys.
Matter which one we do.
Max 377, report your Mach number.
We are currently Mach decimal 76, Springbok 377.
Kestrel 999.
There we go.
Report your Mach number.
It's happening.
999, Mach 0.79.
Kestrel 999. I can only accommodate your present level at decimal 6 or less.
Oof.
Otherwise, we
Brutal.
change your level.
Decimal 6.
Kestrel 999, that's not received. Request flight level change over.
Yeah, I don't blame James there.
I don't know.
That's what I would do.
Flight level 380.
Goodness knows what we'll get given then.
380, thank you.
I don't actually think we can go all the way up. Oh, not that heavy for a 900. Where would the maximum level be written in a 737?
Osprey 250, surface wind.
Is it going to be 363? Are we already going to the maximum?
290.
Captain Vickers, thank you so much for another 449 rupee super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Captain Vickers says, from watching your streams to the cockpit in 2 years, it's been a pleasure. Always will continue to support. Thanks for all the knowledge through the streams. That's really kind. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for those very, very, very kind super chats. All the best for your assessment, Captain Vickers. And it is amazing to me to think that there's people who have, from no flying at all, are now doing their commercial airline selections. I mean, if somebody, 3 years, it's been 3 years. You could have started flight training when I started the channel and you'd already have a year flying airliners under your belt now. That's scary for me. That is really scary for me. Just how fast that time's gone. But thank you so much for those really kind words and for those super chats, Captain Vickers, and all the best. Cruise page, okay. Ah, 385. We could get up to 380 then. Optimum's 363, but we could get up to 380. I'd rather do that than slow down. Now, in the Airbus, you wouldn't go right up to the maximums. I'm not sure how it works in the 73. Like the sim would know.
Send 3000 cross, QNH 1018, South 18.
Makala 330 is ready for the taxi.
Makala 302, taxi Romeo, Alpha, holding point on 825.
Romeo Alpha, holding point runway 25. Makala 302.
Control Osprey 6000, back in cockpit.
Thank you, Osprey 6000. Osprey 250, radar identified on departure.
James Atkinson. James learning to fly as well. James says, I've got circuit emergencies tomorrow and medical on 24th in prep for my first solo, all since finding this stream. Very excited. That's great, James. Glad to hear it. Good luck with that. First solo, goodness me. Time's going so fast. You're all becoming experienced pilots. You'll soon be teaching me. Well, you already teach me loads, but you'll soon be teaching me all the airplanes that you fly. Maximum of the Airbus is 390. It can go to 398 officially, but you know there's no such thing. So flight level 390. James says this stream's full. That's great. That's been inspiration to some extent anyway. Although I'm sure you were already well on the path to wanting to fly before you watch me struggle through a flight sim land. Sorry, Miguel. Yeah, the gear lever should be in the middle, but I can't move it. It just locks itself up. Still no word on speed. We're starting to see the traffic. There it is. So I guess that's James. He's gone up to 3.8. Thanks, Damien, for the follow. I hope you enjoy it. We're slightly off track from them because I delayed my turn slightly. It took me longer to do it. Maybe that's helped us here. So we're cruising at decimal 8. Let's hope we're beating them. I don't know if on that scope it's going to show up. There's a Nando's in Johannesburg Airport, according to that scope. Strange that it's highlighted. I think that's what I just saw. There is a Nando's. Who'd have thought? Right, where's our little queue of airplanes? There we are.
215, did I approach runway 24?
So 14 X-ray is the furthest ahead, 421 knots. They're on the same track as us. Then off to the left, 405 knots for the 377. So they're slightly slower. 434 knots for the Kestrel. So James is flying his air tours. Yeah, excellent. One of my favourites. I have an Air Tours 757 on my desk right now. It featured in my FCU video. And I'm doing 435. So we're not going to quite catch James, who's up at 380, which is no surprise. But we're catching the other two at about 30 knots for the 377. So yeah, we're not falling behind. Can't really squeeze any more out of it.
Thank you, Emirates 772. You are cleared. The Nevix 1 Delta arrival. Landing runway 21.
Can we do 81? Let's see. James says, thanks. PA38. Class of the workforce. Genuinely never had a game PC until I found your stream and then started lessons. It's been an exciting year. Goodness me, James. That's really great. That's great to hear. Thank you. PA38, one of my all-time favourites. I'm so excited for Just Flight.
We'll be expecting the Nibex 1 Delta arrival, runway 21 right.
To bring out theirs for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I started flying on the PA38, so that is a great place to start flying.
Springbok 1 for X-ray, we're back.
I love the PA38. Really great.
Use remote 1 for X-ray.
Order 6, 303, I think, or whatever my call sign is, ready to go around.
Damien says, safe flight, you're flying to my hometown. Excellent, thanks, Damien.
Sorry, that was a multiple transmission. Saturday 418, runway.
Nando's is South African. I didn't know that, Lauren V. I had no idea. There you go, makes sense.
2006 knots, you clear to land, report vacated.
Clear to land, runway 24, report vacated, Saturday 418.
I've got a 302, are you ready?
Yeah, Ethan?
I've got a 302, runway 25, surface wind 21 degrees 5.
James, you asking about where I got the 757? I've got Air Tour 757 on my desk. It was a recent release by NG Models. It's a 1-400 metal one, so it's very small. But yeah, in their Air Tours sort of blue and teal livery with a line, really smart. I really like it. It was Buchanan Models, I think, in collaboration with NG Models, if that's what you're asking about. But I'm not allowed to talk about models on stream. I get in trouble with that. So I'll stop. So there was some traffic going the other way. Doing the return route. Yeah, they're doing 476 knots, doing much better than us. No surprise. Picked up a bit of a headwind here. How am I doing on speed now? We're now 439. James is doing really well at 380. Tempted to go higher, get a bit of extra ground speed out. I reckon we could do that. James, what indicated Mach number are you running at? But it's not 81. James says, I'll have a look. Thanks. I've got EasyJet Airbus covering a chip on my desk. There you go. You could probably on eBay. You can probably get plastic snap together versions of an Air Tours model. I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not in that livery. I'll have a look. Maybe on eBay you can find all the sort of surplus. Often there's snap together kits that they used to sell on board. Depends what model you want as well. Some are more popular. Yeah, there you go. You can get a plastic one, which I've got one just like that of the upstairs. That's 1 to 200 scale push fit. Those are very common. You can get, there's 2 of those available. Or just below that, for a bit more money, it's £50, but you can get the 757-200s 1 to 400 in metal, which has got little antennas and stuff. Very smart, very neat model. Here's a collection and a half, 6 times model aircraft. This is my sort of eBay posting. I shouldn't go on eBay. It's very bad. An Air Tours plastic carry bag with the old Air Tours logo, and then you get an Air Tours 330, 75, A320, all in the old Air Tours livery. Then you got the even older liveried DC9, and then a DC10, and then a Thompson 757. And the DC10 is in the My Travel hybrid sort of livery. A terrible, terrible livery. I like the My Travel livery in full, but it was very rare to see it. Usually you got that sort of half and half. I don't think they spent the time painting the airplanes. I didn't know that Air Tours flew the MD-83, so we can fly the Leonardo MD-80 as an Air Tours if I can find a livery for it, and if I can relearn that aeroplane. That would be great, because I've been meaning to fly that. Right, stop, no more models. James, decimal 82. James, what are you flying?
Thank you.
Can't be 82 in a 320. Surely not. But then, to be fair, I wouldn't be 81 in a 737. I suspect Flight Data Sim wouldn't do this.
Osprey 250, you can expect Lexus.
Matt says, I was tempted by a first choice or JMC model, but the quality of the decals wasn't fantastic after all these years. Ah, yes. Yeah, that's it. They are old models now. Might snap. It says, stop. You're making me spend money on eBay. It's bad, isn't it? It is bad. If you go on eBay and type in any old airline name, you'll be amazed. You can just find anything. I'm not ashamed to say. I am ashamed to say, actually. I have a Air 2000 Tapestry playing card set. So there you go. And on the back is a picture of the Air Tapestry livery 757s. I have not flown the Halo Pelican. No. What's the Halo Pelican? Let's have a look at that. Oh yes, that from Halo, from the video game. No, I don't know Halo very well, so it just doesn't mean much to me. It looks cool enough, but yeah, I don't know that video game series. So we flew the Dark Star, even on stream. Did we take it on VATSIM? You weren't allowed it on VATSIM, were you? We did it on the multiplayer server. That's right. Ham says, I think your flight indicators are frozen. I think we're doing okay. I think we're okay. Nice. I like the angle of attack indicator you get on 737s. That's quite cool. I assume the red line is the stall point. I know that those eyebrows you get are the stall points as well.
Southwest 418, turn left, 050.
Cyprian says 0.8.82 is risky on the Phoenix. Indeed, indeed it is. Ed says, I bought some original car Twin Otter boarding cars on eBay the other day. There you go. Excellent. Gus says, can you tell me how to calculate V1, VR, V2? Well, you need a performance calculator if you're doing it in the Airbus, or you can do what we did. If you go back on the stream, you'll see me enter them by tapping next to them. So here, we'll down to 30, and I'll do that, put that in there. Although that will update later on.
Yeah, do you have weather conditions over at or Tambo for me? QNH wind and maybe temperature. That works.
So Flight Dispatch asks, have you done a flight with an INOP MCDU? Probably. You could only go with one of them broken, and you would just treat it like that size computer isn't working. That would be a bit of a pain on the Airbus, I must say. The Dash 8s I flew only had one. So you only had one MCDU or CDU.
Yeah, I just didn't see it
on the captain's side.
So, yeah.
But yeah, if you're flying with one in this sort of aircraft, it'd be a bit tricky, and you have to reach past the thrust levers, which is a bit of a pain.
Osprey 6000, report to for descent.
Unless the MEL says you can't go. I think you could probably go with just one as the specs. Let's have a look. It could be very distracting though, trying to sort of back up things like the approach. It'd effectively mean you're down to one FMGC, so your flight you'd also be running on one FMGC, which is a little bit disruptive. Let me see. The Asobo 320 NEO won't calculate your speeds. No, you'll need a computer or some numbers. Yeah, you can go. I knew you could. Yeah. Yeah, one MCDU. Pretty sure I've done it. They could also fail in flight, of course, so. Flight Dispatch says, oh, there you go. I had one the other week. The FO MCDU was a NOP, but it was a repositioning flight. Yeah, so you just use the other side and you've got that side FMGC effectively. Michael Baker says, I am new to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Thanks for the video on the MCDU and how to put flight plans into it. You're very welcome. Thanks for coming along and saying so. Really appreciate it. Ham says, have you turned Concorde mode on? I don't think so. Or is that because of the speed we're doing? We're doing our best. Remember the last stream we landed into Atlanta and we really got the sequencing right, didn't we? We all landed sort of one after the other, minimum spacing. That was great. Luckily we have a controller today, so we don't have to replicate the event. eBay is just full of Air Tours models. And there's a ITVV Captain Rex Taylor 757-200 video. I remember watching that. I think that's into Turkey, Dalaman. I had that DVD. That's not my one on eBay. I'm not promoting it. This is dangerous for me. I shouldn't be on eBay looking at this stuff. There's an old Air Tour safety card. It's funny, it's things that people who worked with these airlines save over the years. And then there's a mug. Fantastic. Right, I'll put that away. Otherwise, I'm going to end up spending money I should not be spending.
South Africa Control, Osprey 250 is ready for descent.
Osprey 250, decent flight all 200.
We are making it. We are making it. Not quite halfway, but we're getting there. James is now faster than us somehow. I don't understand how that's being achieved.
Springbok 1 for X-ray, South Africa.
One for X-ray is furthest ahead.
Springbok 1 for X-ray, South Africa.
Yeah, Springbok 1 for X-ray, go ahead.
Springbok 1 for X-ray, you are cleared the Airbus 1 Bravo arrival, landing runway 19, Cape Town.
Sorry, your volume was quite low. Do you think you can repeat it, please?
Springbok 1 for X-ray, cleared the Airbus 1 Bravo arrival, landing runway 19 at Cape Town.
Alright, cleared Airbus 1 Bravo arrival, runway 19 at Cape Town. Springbok 1 for X-ray.
Now that is something that you do in real life. You can go Airbus 1 Bravo. That's what we filed for. Nice and simple. It's got a bit of a made-up bit there. But yeah, we'll get to that point, and then I'll just bring up the ILS. But yeah, you listen out, and you'll probably hear the aircraft in front, and you can get a bit of a heads up as to what should happen from what they get. So we've been told to expect runway 19, or we haven't, but the aircraft in front did, so it makes sense that we would expect similar. I'm expecting radar vectors, but there we go. And again, big runway here. Obviously not as long, about a kilometre and a bit shorter, 1.2 kilometres shorter than Joburg, but there we go, 3.2. It'll be nice and light by the time we get there. So,
Osprey 250, decent.
I do need a parking chart.
Port Elizabeth QNH 1018.
There we go. Good. Right, so if you're really bored, we can start briefing now. Probably wouldn't in real life just yet. Still enjoy your dinner. Still dinner time. I'm so hungry now. Can't believe it's 7 o'clock. The clocks have changed in the UK, so it's actually still daylight outside. It's totally disrupting my my normal cues for when I should eat.
Macaro 302, clear direct to position Airbus.
So what is this? This is normally a sign for like a visual maneuver or something like that. Is it the lost comms?
Macaro 302, South Africa.
No, it's not that.
Saturday 418, turn left to
Routing.
260.
Yeah, turn right 010 for vectoring. So it's just what you can expect. So we get to CTV, right turn 010. Pretty straightforward. Let's just check what we've got planned. And away you go. Yeah, vectors and then back in for the ILS. Anything we need to know in advance? 3,000 feet. Elevation 150 feet. Perfect. Thank you for letting me know earlier. 3.2 degrees. Slightly steeper glides though. It's worth noting. I could put the minimum in now, couldn't I? Cat 1, 347, 200. There. What's going on with our speed? That was a bit strange. Go, 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 go. 347. There it is.
Stafford 418, further left heading 250.
We'll check the tune frequencies later on. We should have the arrival in Isla Zulu 19.
Stafford 418, further left heading 250.
And that's one Bravo.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
4 reports established.
191, course of 189. That's been the course of 189. Now, as I'm really not using this course bar at all, this will be great. We'll be set up so early this time. No doubt we'll miss something else, but there we go.
418, just confirm you copied. You are okay.
189.
Approach 924. I report
Let's do the same here. 189. Good stuff. And then we have to tune it ourselves as well. Should really tune some en route stuff, I suppose. But this would do that. No.
418, South Africa.
I always forget where it's written. Cruise page? No. Progress page? No. Am I thinking of the A310? I'm thinking of the A310. Yeah. This doesn't tune anything, does it? What am I thinking? Let's go back to map. Hazen, thank you so much for the €1 super chat. Really appreciate it. Very kind of you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And I hope you're doing very well. Thanks for joining us today.
Springback 377, confirm you still maintaining Mach decimal 76?
Missed. Michael Baker, you're very welcome. Sorry if I missed your message, but yeah, thanks for coming on today.
Start again, sorry, Springbok 377, can you please repeat?
I've missed loads of chat.
Just confirm you're still maintaining Mach
Sorry about
decimal 76?
Springbok 377, we're currently doing Mach decimal 77.
Yeah, so we're catching the 377.
377, reduced to Mach decimal 75.
Reduced to Mach decimal 75, Springbok 377.
Kestrel 999, report your Mach.
It's all going wrong.
Kestrel 999, Mach number 0.82.
0.82. That's amazing.
Third again.
Yeah.
Decimal 82, Kestrel 999.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Thank you, Kestrel 999.
The good news, as disappointing as it is that I'm not catching James, because he's going the speed of sound in front of us, it means that we're keeping a decent gap, because James is going to overtake the 377 above and significantly faster. So yeah, wind's died down a little bit, just 26 knot headwind now. This is good. Why is your fuel draw from the wing tanks unequal, asks Ham 1900. So yeah, good question. Why is that? Why have we got a fuel imbalance? What's the reason for that? The controller's reaction was great.
Osprey 250, turn left, heading 080.
080, Osprey 250.
Quality Moose has got it. Yep, we used APU fuel. So that's all it is. So the imbalance, as long as it stays the same, so you can see it's, 40 kilos. So as long as it stays the same, then we know it's not a leak. So I'm not too worried about it. And we can check as well our fuel used, which is Oh yeah, we got to do this silly thing on the 7.3. Don't know where they came up with this. If we hold that down, it goes to use. So we've used 1.76. So it's 2, 3.4, 3.52, which added on 6.4 comes to about 10 tons. So there we go. So it works. So that's why. Flight dispatch asks, does the Phoenix APU use more fuel in real life? Oh, I don't know. I haven't used it that much or checked on it that carefully. I'll have a look. Eisenberg would like a video for the yoke settings. I don't use the yoke very often, so I'm afraid I wouldn't be very useful for that. But thank you again for your super chat, Eisenberg. Oh, here we go. So we're going to unravel now. We are decimal 8.1, Springbok 332.
Springbok 332, kindly reduce Mach decimal 7.9.
Decimal 7.9, Springbok 332. I'm guessing another level won't help us today. Because we're at the back of the queue. It's not going to work, is it?
Say the last part again.
I'm guessing there's no hope of us changing level and overtaking anyone.
Unfortunately, you're too far behind. We actually starting to look at the sequence into Cape Town for now.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll do decimal 7.9, Springbok 332. And just like that, the dream's over. Oh dear. We're never going to compete with decimal 8.2. Should have gone in the 757. Then we'd have had them. We would have been past everyone. No trouble. Right. And now I've got to figure out. I'll just do a speed intervention. 7.9. That's what we're doing anyway. There we go. It's going to make absolutely no difference in the long run. A minute or two. James says, sorry, do you want me to? No, James, not at all. Not at all. I am using a side stick. The reason I'm using a side stick is because I write down as I stream. So the yoke sort of gets in the way. But I have, in a box behind me, this is rather embarrassing, I have the Thrustmaster yoke. I've been meaning to make a video with it. So that is on the list of things to do. And then maybe I'll use that for Boeing streams. Flight dispatch says, sorry, slowing you down in the past. No problem, flight dispatch. This seems to do the same speeds, really. 7.9 to 8 is sort of comfortable. One way you can try and cheat the system is if, when the controller asks, what are you doing? You could say, I'm doing 8.3. I didn't even let me select that. And then they'll say, okay, you need to reduce it by 0.2. So then you come back to whatever you were doing, 8.1. But that only works for a short amount of time because, of course, then you'll continue to catch them up and now to just slow you down more. Cruise page. There we go. Thanks. Target speed, 7.9 MCP. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. Fuel at destination, 4.6. That's not bad. 4.6. Reserves are 2.6, 3.6, 3.7. Reserves are 3.7 tons of fuel. Right, I missed loads of chats. Sorry, everyone.
Osprey 250, runway 26, the surface wind is 240 degrees 15 miles clear land, report vacation.
So Frank Devon is asking, using the side stick, would you set it up for co-pilot config? How it works for you? Really struggle setting it up as pilot command because my right hand memory. Yeah, if you're not enjoying flying with your right hand, sorry, your left hand, then just make it into the right hands. Yeah, no problem with that. Just do whatever you fancy. Doesn't matter if it doesn't match what's on the screen perfectly. Lauren P says, on the 737 you can occupy yourself updating the heading bug and tuning en route VORs. Yes. Oh, there's that sun going down. Yes, that's right. I was in the middle of doing en route VORs, wasn't I? Get myself distracted. We're probably getting to the point where I could tune Cape Town. Is there another one en route?
Kestrel 999 to
right.
South Africa Control. I'm not quite sure what's going on with my aircraft, but I've got no flight plan for some reason. So I request a vector for runway 19, please.
Kestrel 999, maintain your present heading.
Maintain present heading, Kestrel 999, thank you.
He was going too fast. All the antennas have come off.
Osprey 6000 to 9600.
Oh dear.
Osprey 6000 to 9600.
Being just a little bit cheeky this evening, aren't we? It's like the end of term. Oh, we're back. There's an issue. Oh no. Problem on Twitch. Okay, made it back. Oh, got Twitch notification. Okay, seems okay. Lovely Gen Gaming's rated with party of 10. Welcome. Thank you all for coming along. Oh no, Twitch missed it. Did YouTube get it? It's been gone for a while. Oh dear. Sorry, Twitch. That's typical. You'll have to go and watch the 4-hour YouTube video if you can get to this point. I can tell you we are 2 hours and 25 minutes into the stream. So if you go to sort of 2 hours 23, you'll see it. It's not that exciting. I'm making it sound far more exciting. Spacey says, hello 320 Sim pilot and viewers. Big fan of the channel, but don't get to see the streams live very often. Really appreciate you sharing your expertise and experience. Thank you. You're very welcome, Spacey. Thank you so much for coming along. Thank you for those kind words. Really appreciate it. Could have taken the 74200 in Old Spring. Could have done indeed. Yeah, would have got there quicker then.
Elizabeth is 260 at 10 knots. Runway 26.
Lauren V says, talking about exaggerating Mach numbers there to see if you can get ahead. Yeah, it doesn't help you because they're just comparing ground speeds. The Mach numbers just asking what you're seeing. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, there you go. So Twitch is back. YouTube on the tablet stopped. Oh no, what's going on? Everyone on YouTube still there? My YouTube hasn't even got it. Normally there's always about 20 error messages left over, but it's doing fine. It says excellent connection, unusually, surprisingly. So how are we doing? Yeah, bitrate on Twitch is very poor.
230, cleared for the army.
Flight Spec says I can see James in my rear view zooming along. Yes. James is rocketing ahead. Yeah, something's gone wrong here now. YouTube's complaining now. Lee says it's working. Josh is back now. Chris is working. Okay, good news. I think Twitch is... Is Twitch okay? Unstable connection on Twitch, sorry. Blame the Boeing, indeed, yeah, indeed. Is it working on Twitch smoothly now? It's okay, says Spirit. Okay, thanks, Spirit. Good stuff. So we're going to have control all the way down. Quite unusual. Getting there though. Last part of the flight now. This is probably the most direct flight we've ever done. Great routing for air traffic. Yeah, James is overtaking up ahead.
Carter 199 Johannesburg, good evening. Cleared to Boston, flight level 320 on request. After departure, runway 21 right. Maintain runway heading, climb initially, flight level 90. Departure frequency is 128.325.
He says, why do I seem to remember there's an event in South Africa on Thursdays? Ah, is there?
7, 6.
That would be an enormous bit of luck. That would be the second bit of luck we've had, because of course we had the luck of the automatic, of the flight numbers being correct for the first time ever. Right. We are running out of light slowly.
Report ready for push and start. Osprey 6000, runway 21 right. Surface wind 280 degrees, less than 5 knots, clear to land. Osprey 250, confirm on the go around.
Sounds busy.
Osprey 650, turn right.
Thing is, the South Africa Centre covers a huge area. It covers the whole area. In Europe, we've gone through about 4 or 5 different sectors by now. So yeah, there's an 80s that down in Cape Town and everything. Right. I think what we'll do is have a little bit of break music, and then we'll be back. Set up the arrival. Not long now to the descent. Not long at all.
There was multiple transmissions. Brakes, Trimwick 265 cleared to Cape Town.
Okay, a lot of people are having to restart YouTube. I would give that as advice to other people, but obviously you can't hear me if you're having trouble. So hopefully people aren't too stuck.
Can I get 280 if that's possible?
FM, Trimwick 265, you cleared to Cape Town, flight 280 request. After departure, runway.
Quite nose high, this airplane in the cruise.
Maintain
almost 5 degrees. Is that accurate? Definitely higher nose than 320 and 73800s.
And your stroke is 12.
Get Cape Town, runway 29, maintain runway heading, currently in altitude 100, maintain, and then up to cruise level 280, walk 12, 12,
Osprey 250, sorry, I'll speak to another aircraft. Go ahead now.
Please confirm heading for Osprey 250.
You can now continue the right and turn to heading 095.
Right, 095, Osprey 250.
265, your readback is correct. Report ready for push. 265, South Africa.
South Africa Control, number 265, or report when you're ready for pushback and start. Thank you.
James's new Air Tours aircraft has already been dispatched. Fantastic. That is quick for an eBay dispatch. Very good. Look forward to that. What one did you go for, James? Are you going for a plastic kit or are you going for a metal? Both are good answers.
I caught it 199, pushback, settle through, safety. Right, the Johannesburg QNH is 1021.
Meta 1 to 400, very good choice. That's what I've got, 757 on my desk now. The NG 757s are very good, very good. They're excellent, in fact.
All stations, South Africa Control will be away for about 2 minutes.
Ha! Perfect. Perfect. Right, me too then. See you in a sec. Hello, hello, we are back.
We're 772, we're ready for descent. Descent flight level 160, MS772.
Yeah, very nose high. I've only just sort of noticed that. Control's a bit quiet for me. Let's turn up the audio. Yeah, but I hope you enjoy the music. I really like it.
Carter 199, stand by.
Right. Richard Dusty says, wonder what happened to the VC10 diecast out as a kid. Fantastic. VC10, what a machine.
Carter 199, taxi Delta.
James says, I have a massive model of the Great North Air ambulance I got when I left as a present, but they're a fortune on eBay. Wow, that's very cool. Very cool. Josh says, I'm so used to watching the replays of these, I try to fast forward. Excellent. What is the FO up to this afternoon? Asked Steph Lima Bean. So, I just checked on the FO, and she is curled up snoozing. And she's been doing that the whole stream. And she complained directly to me for interrupting that by going upstairs to check on her. So there you go. My efforts were not appreciated. How's our pressurization looking? So cabin altitude 5, 6, 7, yeah, about 8,000 feet, yeah, and this all makes more sense to me now. 8 psi. I was thinking it must go up into the red area otherwise. Good. This controller's going to have fun with us as we arrive into Cape Town all at once. So let's finish setting things up, really. Very nice sun. Yeah, it's beautiful this evening, isn't it? No sun visors in this thing? Guess not. I assume you have to clip them onto the rail. Control is very quiet.
down 1,500 and clear all left.
Definitely says, don't blame her one bit. I'd get up and snooze if I could as well. Yeah, that's it. She's enjoying the FO life.
South Africa Control, Springbok 265.
Right.
Springbok 265 requesting pushback and start. George.
So we have the arrival from Airbus, 250 knots. Then a right turn 010 after the D11 from CTV. CTV 1157, so let's tune that in the active. And then the RLS will be radar vectored onto. Slightly steeper approach than normal, 1091. So let's put 1091. Oh, that's... Yes. Okay, 1091, there we go. And I have 1091 on the standby over here. So it's active on the left, standby on the right. 157, standby on this side in case we need it. Good. I'm assuming that's not going to display yet. Nope. Good. 191, 189 on the course. We've got 189. Radar vector is slightly steeper, like I said, so I want to be flap 5 below 180 knots as we join that glide slope at 8.5 miles. In fact, I want to be flat 15 as I get to 8.5. So gear down, flat 15 at 8.5 basically. And then down we go. We'll grab the weather in just a moment, but I've got the minima 347, which is 200 feet, which is good. No problems there. And if we go to our speeds, 142 now, flap 30 landing. We would do a landing distance check, but I don't know what that would be on an aircraft like this, but currently 64.9 tons. That's at the upper end of a landing weight for a 320, light for a 321, so pretty normal landing weight. So we'll do a flap 30, and I'll just do auto brake 3 with the intention to hopefully get off at Charlie. But maybe not possible. We shall see. Good. Issues for us today. We don't know the airport. Big terrain out here, 6,500 feet. But as we get closer, just adjust the levels a bit more.
Thank you. Climb level 410.
Yeah, as we go in, 7,300 feet MSA. But then we should be in the lower area there. 377, so we're catching each other. Not so much farmland here. Different sort of terrain. Thanks, Potato, for your subscription. There is a visor in the pocket in the left back of the cockpit. Ah.
Osprey 250, runway.
There it is.
260, 10 knots, still land report.
Is that... How do I move it? Wow, very good. Ah. Wow. That's pretty...
332 vectors for the approach, turn right heading 290.
Right heading 290, Springbok 332.
South Africa Control, Springbok 14 X-ray. We are around 25 miles from the sun.
Ah, that's not going to work for the sun. It's always the way. The sun visor is never quite in the right place. Anyway, heading 290.
Descent flight level 160, Springbok 14 X-ray.
So we're going to be... We're not going to fly any of that arrival. Heading select. Over we go.
I think that was for Springbok 14 X-ray. There were 2 stations. Can you say again, please?
That seems a very long way. Enjoy your dinner, Ed.
Castrol 999 to South Africa Control, pressing all.
These E10s were a pig to work on, says Ascot. Access panels couldn't be swapped between aircraft as they were all slightly different sizes. Goodness me. We're being spaced with headings down. That's what's happening here. Because it is very early for a vector in the cruise still. Still, at least our visor's now in the right place.
turn right heading 275, Castle 999, thank you.
So we're going to head out here. We're being dragged out to the side, and then we'll all get sequenced in with a bit of space. Makes sense.
Springbok 377, go ahead.
Strike 377 vectors for the straight in, turn right heading 285.
That's why we have the worst heading.
Turn right heading 285.
290.
377.
It would be an easy approach, says Mr. Penalty. Well, any approach can be challenging, but yes, in theory, it's a straight in RLS, sea level, slightly steeper.
Light and variable, runway 29, cleared for takeoff.
But we do need to just check the weather.
Report passing
So the 8 is at fact, which is Cape Town, 18015, so they shouldn't change runway on us. 17 degrees, so it's really good conditions. QNH 1019. Autumny conditions, I suppose. Information India. Excellent. So yeah, sounds good to me. Sun's going to disappear. Could be a night arrival. Are we sticking with a night arrival today? I feel like we probably are.
8 degrees less than 5 knots.
Haven't had the sunset this whole time.
6,500. Emirates 772, decent flightable 90.
There's an Emirates out there. Where are they going? Thanks, Flight Dispatch 320, for the $6.19 tip. Really appreciate it. That's very kind, Flight Dispatch. There's just another thank you for all the great content and entertainment over the last few years. I've been watching for years silently, but glad to be flying along on the streams and part of the great community you built. That's so kind. Thank you so much, Flight Dispatch. Really, really glad to hear it. And thank you once again.
Control, Castrol 999. Can I just check, do you want me to hold 380 flight level?
For your very, very kind donations. Really, really appreciate it. And I'm glad you've been enjoying the videos, and thank you for flying along with us. Glad you're enjoying it.
40, Castle 999. Thank you.
We are adding a long leg to our flight here. But this sequencing nicely.
Osprey 250, taxi Alpha to Alpha to the stand of your choice. Good night. Make 265, radar identified on departure under radar control. Climb to flight level 280.
There you go. For people in the UK on TV, BBC 4 at 9 PM, there is Jet when Britain ruled the skies. Night or evening arrival, either way, gorgeous as Def Line B. There you go. Excellent. Good answer.
Makaru 199, radar identified
So,
departure, radar
question for those of you watching.
Flight level 100.
How many of you, if you listen to the podcast, what do you think? Do you want it longer, shorter? Do you want it to talk about different things? Do you want to skip the flight simulation stuff, the sort of newsy bit? You let me know. Obviously, there's 3 episodes available. So in the last episode, I changed around the order slightly. You let me know what you think. I'm always interested.
Strike 377, turn left heading 280.
There you go. Hopefully we'll start on our left turn soon. That's a bit long leg.
Strike 332, turn left heading 285.
Left heading 285, Springbok 332. 285.
Strike 377, turn left heading 280.
Turn left heading 280, Springbok 377.
Flight Dispatch very kindly says it's great and longer. Okay, fair enough. We can do that. Flight Dispatch will do episode 3 later. So episode 3 is a bit longer. It is a bit longer.
South Africa control, please repeat.
Track 265, clear direct to Getter.
Clear direct, get him, Springbok 65.
Josh Paul says, thanks for the comment, Josh. Josh says, I really like the variety of it. It's great to hear real-world aviation tidbits and how it can relate back to flight sim, but also talking about the state of the game and add-ons is fun too. Okay, good. Glad you enjoyed it. Great. Robin says, I enjoyed your podcast. It is like a perfect length. Perfect. Okay, yeah, under an hour. I'm definitely thinking it needs to stay under an hour. Airspeed will be less than our ground speed up here, because our airspeed indicator is going to show us going slower than we actually are because the air's so thin up here. So our true airspeed, TAS, is over here at 455. That relates more directly to our ground speed. The wind is the only difference between these two. 4 Point says, I missed the Spotify notification for episode 3, but looking forward to it. Yeah, so I wasn't sure how it worked. Like I say, I published it, but I will check that today, and then I will tomorrow put up all the normal notifications on YouTube and so on. James says, I think you and Barney are doing a great job. Completely different to other types out there. You guys have a great start. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Flight Dispatch says an hour is a sweet spot. Yeah, I really appreciate it, James. Glad you enjoy it. Barney will be pleased to hear that as well.
Turn left heading 250, Castle 999, thank you.
Strike 337, turn left 255.
Left heading 255, Springbok 377.
Strike 332, turn left 255.
Left heading 255, Springbok 332. There we go. They've done it. Getting us back round now. Devliner Bean says, I haven't been able to join many streams lately, so I was unaware of the podcast, but I for sure checked it out too. Yeah, so go onto Spotify, 320 Sim Pilot. It's called From Flight Level 320.
Flight heading 245.
Which was a name that the viewers came up with. I really enjoy it. It's been really fun, actually. I'm sorry this episode was a little bit late, about a week late, but I will do better. I would aim to do better. Aim is every 2 weeks-ish. James says, it would be good to hear you guys attempt a landing challenge each week or something. I know we can't see you, but you described in the last video as well. Okay, that's an idea, yeah. Interesting. I like the idea. J-Dog says, hello Captain, hope you're well. How are you finding PMG? I'm well, and I'm enjoying it. Enjoying flying the big 7.3. Say, very nose high in the cruise. But very pretty. The lighting, much the flight simulator's lighting continues to be
Cape Town approach on
exceptional.
119.7. Thanks for great services. Good night.
Right, now the range rings on the 7.3 I do struggle with. I have to look up here. So that's set to 160. So yeah, we're getting within descent point range. It's unlikely. We're told we're on vectors, so I'm going to delete AirDAS. Can't do that. What I want to do is clear up the flight plan, which is what I would do in the A320, but I don't actually know how to do that here. Flight Dispatch says, how long does it take to make an episode of the podcast? It takes a little while. As ever, these things are a bit longer than you'd imagine. You know, the recording is about an hour, but then there's all the setting up and finding a time and a date and everything. And in the last episode, instead of doing it online, which is what we were doing for the first two.
Centre.
We did it in person, which actually was a lot of fun, and I used proper microphones for both of us, which sounds a lot better. The first sort of 15 minutes is over the internet, and then we halfway through the episode swapped to like a we couldn't finish it in one go. Sometimes we redo things a little bit, so we went back to that question of do you think you'll see single pilot aircraft and so on. We did that a couple of times actually, so it takes, we probably spent an hour and a half to 2 hours recording audio, and then I edit it together, which takes another hour at least, and then I've got to do the intros and outros and make sure I get those right. I'll get a bit quicker at the editing, but it's a few hours of work certainly, but as long as people are enjoying it, I'm happy to do it because I do enjoy it. Fantafoot says, I have not heard the last episode, but really enjoyed the first two. Great format. You should get Barney on stream. That's great. Glad to hear it. Okay, thanks. Good to know, because I don't get much live feedback. I don't see the comments and so on until I put it up on YouTube, but I'm curious to people who've listened just directly on Spotify. Thanks, Death Line, for following. Appreciate it. Lauren B says, haven't heard episode 3 yet. For whatever reason, I can't listen to your podcast in browser. Just in. I'm ready to send flight 260 Springbok 332. Lauren B says, real NG drivers would just keep doing directs. How interesting. Yeah, it's not the Airbus way. It's a 320.
265 is cleared to get in 1 Bravo, landing runway 19.
So you just select and type in.
Yeah, getting 1 Bravo, runway 19.
It stays in heading. See, if I did that in the Airbus, it would go there. We don't need to go down just yet. Strong headwind up here. Thanks, Lauren B. And Lauren B says, yep, can't listen to it on browser, which is strange. The radio altimeter does not function above 2,500 feet. Nope. DJ says, I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes of the podcast on long drive from the Netherlands to Eastern Germany. Perfect length and nice to focus on something else than musical dialogue. Excellent. Yeah, I like podcasts on long drives as well. Flight Dispatch, you're very welcome. It's my pleasure. The thing with the podcast, as you can see here, you know, it's hard to, it's quite hard to promote it, as it were. YouTube, the algorithms do these things, so if I have a video that's doing well, YouTube promotes it more. But obviously the podcast is just, it's just there on Spotify, so it really relies on people telling each other and me telling people to listen to it. So it's very hard to get it, people aware of it. That's the only issue with the podcast. So if you do know any way to do that, let me know. A says, I haven't heard episode 3 yet. Would love to hear Barney's experience on VATSIM and how it is informed by his in real life flying. I'd love to understand VATSIM from the point of view. Ah, there we go. Flight Dispatch says Barney is also top guy. There you go. Excellent.
772, report vacated.
He said 260. You're absolutely right. I wrote down 260. Thank you very much, Lauren V. Great spot. I probably said 320 because it's the name of the podcast. You can see how just chatting can really mess things up. Right, let's start down.
Setting 250, Springbok 377.
Which will be...
Track 332, turn left 250.
Left wing 250, Springbok 332. So there's retard, heading select MCP speed. Again, that's 26,000. If people hit the like button, it promotes. But so is that true on Spotify? So if you yeah, that's a good point. So do I need to ask people to like it on Spotify? Is there an option to do that? Anyway, down we go. There's notifications, follow, and this little plus, which adds it to your episodes. Is that the same thing? There's no heart or anything. There should be like an animated change. Yes, if you are listening to podcasts, do please, yeah, anything you can think of like that really helps it out. Because it's not going to get much traffic otherwise. Doesn't need a lot of traffic, but if it does get more, then I might be able to convince more people onto it. Stormcode, hello to you. Hello from Thailand. Did I make it in time for 10? You did. We've just started down.
Springback 332, decent, flight level 200.
December level 200, Springbok 332. Let's get it right this time. 200. Here we go. Don't need sun visors now. I want to lower the floodlights here.
Springback 377, report your speed.
Speed indicated 270, Springbok 377.
Springback 377.
What's controlling this floodlight?
Roger, reducing down to 250 knots, Springbok 377.
That's the AFDS one. That's that panel. Where's this light? We are diving down. It's good headwind, and we got these high speeds. So this is actually going to be a pretty. We probably didn't need to descend when we did. I hit the follow and bell buttons on Spotify, but I'm unsure if that's regional. Okay, thanks, Def Live Beat. Appreciate it. Paul Prawn said I had notifications off for Spotify, so that's why I missed it. Ah, okay, okay.
332, report your speed.
Springbok 332, currently decimal 78.
Thank you. Convert now to indicated and make the indicator speed 250 now and left 245.
250 knots, left heading 245. Springbok 332. So that's why it's worth descending early. If you know it's going to be busy, don't wait around for your descents, because this is what's going to happen at 250 knots. So I need to convert it now, which it has done actually. So there we go. We'll put it to 250, and suddenly you're not getting as much drag as your planned descent. There's the other traffic over there, and you're at risk of getting yourself high. It's funny, with the more traffic there is, the easier it is to get high. Background switch next to AFDS light. Oh, thank you. Yeah, there you go. That's better. I'm not a massive fan of just the panel floods. Someone says your passengers' eardrums probably popping right now. Nah, they'd be fine. They'd be fine. They might notice we're descending though. In this case.
Saturday 131 strength 5 Army.
MSJN says looks like you can rate the whole show on Spotify. Ah, if you can, if anyone is enjoying it, do please leave a review on Spotify.
Saturday 131 clear to Cape Town, flight will C60 ingress after departure on 826.
And share it wherever you can. I'm sorry, it feels terrible saying these things. How do you? Ah, so on Spotify, if you go to the page, not of the episode, but of the actual podcast, and then there's the three little dots. You can tap on those, and then there's rate show. If you are enjoying it, please do leave a rating. We have some ratings. 52 ratings, 5.0. Very good. Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for those ratings. Really appreciate it. That's great. Fantastic. Yeah, we're really enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to what other things we'll do. Like the landing challenges live. That could be quite funny. I can upload them later. Thank you, yes. Heading 245. Thank you. Hopefully control doesn't notice that.
Emirates 772, taxi straight ahead on India, right on Bravo, into the apron to Alpha 6. Thanks for flying.
Yeah, well done. I'm glad I got you guys here with me. Left heading 245 now done. There's Cape Town. Fantastic. And is it Table Mountain?
Approach 119.7.
Awesome.
119.7, thanks very much for ATC. Have a good evening.
I'm just going to go direct
377.
to the point after the vectors. That's the closest to what we're going to do now.
332, decent flight level 170.
So level 170, Springbok 332. 170. I've had trouble with Apple Podcasts, Viper, and MSGen. I would love to put it there, but the amount of verification it takes is proving difficult. So if you want to listen to it on Apple Podcasts, take the RSS feed link and add it to the Apple Podcast app, and then you can listen to it through there when it uploads. The RSS feed is the way you can put it into basically any app. So that's my recommendation for you guys.
Your squawk is 7621.
So go to your library, then top right 3 dots, follow a show by URL, and then you can put the URL in there, which is the RSS feed, which I have posted. I will continue to look into it, see if I can get us onto Apple as well. Flight Dispatch says, maybe you should get Flight Data Sim on. Yes, indeed. I want to, but this is what I mean about if we have a slightly bigger reach of the podcast, then I'll be able to. I'm not.
Decent flight level 160. Contact approach 119.7. Good evening.
Send flight level 160, 119.7, Springbok 332. Thank you so much for your help. Have a good evening. Really nice controller there. Looked after us the whole way. Really fantastic. So 119.7. Because it's not easy when we all show up doing exactly the same route, but they've handled it brilliantly. The quality of VATSIM controlling is just super. Cape Town, good evening. Springbok 332, descending flight level 160, heading 245, 250 knots, 737-900 with India.
I face a block, Springbok 332 standby, break. Enfield 999 turn leveling 220, send a 3 down.
RSS feed is working great, Mr. Banana. Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Banana. Glad to hear it. So yeah, RSS feed, and you can put it into whichever app you fancy. Flight Data Sim, I have not asked yet, but what?
332 tap approach, hello, turn leveling 180, descend to flight level 90, expect factors IS approach 19.
Descend flight level 90, heading 180 degrees, expecting ILS 19, Springbok 332. And just like that, we're almost there.
Springbok 377, descend to 5,000, CQH
90.
Down to 5,000 QNH 1019,
heading
Springbok 377.
180. Which makes sense for an intercept. Actually, no, it doesn't quite. We're sort of going to parallel Springbok 332. Can we just confirm the heading, please?
Springbok 332 for now, turn left heading 170.
That's heading 170, Springbok 322. Okay, sounds like we're being separated somehow then. So 170. Going down to 90, which is still a flight level, so that's fine. See the terrain. We need 45 miles with 50 miles out. So yeah, we need to keep this descent going, that's for sure. Big Mac DYU says, first time seeing one of my liveries on stream. Odd. Yes, there you go. So Big Mac DYU did this livery. It's on flightsim.to. Lots and lots of South Africa liveries actually from Big Mac. But yeah, thank you for this one. Really great. We've been enjoying it all stream. It was one of the liveries I was very keen to use on stream.
Flight heading 250, Springbok 377.
See the cabin lights and TVs. That's cool. Richard Dusty asked, where was the RSS URL podcast posted? So the RSS URL is available on any of the posts I've made. I'll put it in the post for episode 3 tomorrow. I'll put it on there as well. And it's also on the Discord announcements for it. Yeah, I've always included the RSS feed.
Cafe 99, descend to 3,000 feet for intercept lights.
I think you could probably also go to RSS and search for my podcast. I think it is published on there.
3,000 feet for Takeoff. Thank you. Hold your thoughts on that, Castle 99.
Springbok 332, descend to 5,000 feet, QNH 1019.
So 5,000 feet, QNH 1019, Springbok 332. 5,000. QNH 1017 is what flight sim's doing, so we'll do that even though it should be 1019. And let's turn on some of these lights, it's too bright. That one's fine. Need to actually see outside.
332, turn right heading 210.
Right, 210, Springbok 332. There you go, that makes a lot of sense. Back onto a sort of intercept. YouTube upload, yes. If you go to the YouTube upload of the either of the last 2 episodes, the RSS feed is in the description there. Yep. Mariner Halley asks, "Are you doing across the pond this weekend?" No, I'm not. Sadly, I will not be available.
Contact.
My weekends have filled up again with work.
Castle 999. Thank you very much for your services. Good night.
DJ says, "I'd also be interested in having flight sim developers, Microsoft or Sobo, as guests. I'm sure they could have interesting things to share." Yes, so that would be great. And like I say, relies on the podcast having a bit more reach. So I would ask these people when it has a bit more reach. So I don't want to waste my opportunity to ask them. I say waste. You know, I don't want to ask them when they, you know, it would be more convincing if the podcast was had a bit of growth behind it. So I want to get a fair few episodes in, and then maybe I'll be able to convince people. I haven't asked anyone yet though, so that's not to say anyone said no. I just haven't asked anyone yet. But I was thinking we'd get a bit further into it, let it mature a little bit, figure out the format and length and so on. I'm getting better at the software that I use to edit it, and the microphones and so on. All these little things. It's never as simple as you think it could be. Hey, MSGN's out of the feed. Fantastic. That's great. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? RSS is very clever, very handy. Ham says, "I know South Africa is a big country, but it feels like it's been a long flight." Yes, I've been streaming for 3 hours and 10 minutes, and we're not even there. It is a big country. This was a long flight anyway, and I did it very slowly, and we got stuck behind traffic. So, lots of reasons. This has been a particularly long stream. Question Moose is down. Excellent. Minus 115 feet per minute. Very good. Very good.
Approach, Springbok 265.
I'm looking at the replay software.
220.
Springbok 265, clear to approach. Hello, turn right heading 360 and flight 49 is in.
Turn right heading 360. Can you repeat the altitude?
Descend to flight 709 is in.
Descend flight level 90.
Someone says, "Would be fantastic if you could ask someone from Phoenix or Florida."
332, turn right heading 220, descend to 3,000 feet. Clear ILS, approach 19.
Right heading 220, descend 3,000 feet, cleared ILS 19, Springbok 332. Okay, we could be a little bit careful with what we're doing here now. So, right heading 220, which would be a 30-degree inset, that's fine. Descend to 3,000 feet, that's fine. Right, let's focus in a little bit on what we're doing. Why can't I see the ILS yet? That's because I haven't tuned it. 1091. Now we are, so I'll put the VOR on number 2 to get the DME, as it's not working on the right. So we're still 27 miles out. I know it's not very reliable in flight sim. We do have a bit of a localizer, so I'm actually just going to arm the lock for now. So this VOR lock white. 8, 16, 24 we need to be, and the DME is 25. So we're on profile, but we're coming in fast. So I'm actually going to use the speed brakes to get down so that we can be ready for this approach. Let's get those lights on. So again, it's 3,000 feet, which is safe. We are visual as well. Ebos, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you again. Indeed, bowing out for another spin. First time in this one. We got the fancy lights, I think. Pretty modern this one.
377, speed 160 into 4 DME, clear tower 18.1.
Is that Table Mountain? I don't know. Is that for a
Speed
tool?
160 till 4, and
Well, the cars have stopped.
1. Thanks very much. Have a good evening. Springbok 377.
Or is they? Is that the road lights? I assume it's the road lights. So below glide slope, 250 knots. I'm now going to start winding the speed back. $220, 20 miles out. Yeah, we've got room. We've got room here. What I was going to do is have a look. So this is a 737 after all. So let's have a look at the approach checklist. Done all of that. So approach checklist altimeters we got to QNH 1017. We tune the localizer. We need to arm the approach.
Okay.
That's all as expected. So we'll focus on the flying. Let's update that. $230 knots.
Descend 6,000 feet, QNH 1019.
There's the traffic in front. This is great.
Confirm 5,000 feet.
Start recording.
5,000 feet from
Beautiful evening. This is cool. This is really cool.
365, turn left lane 3.
Lights are all on.
7 left 330.
Seatbelts should be on as well. That would definitely be a good idea. I would never let them out. There you go. There you go. They would have definitely complained about that. Let's get the first bit of flap out. We go to flaps 1. And we'll bug up. That we can bug 1. Updating the QNH. There's Vorlock. 1019. Thank you. Ed's back in time. Well done. I'm very jealous. I'm starving. There's the runway. There's the traffic in front. This is great. This is where VATSIM's just at its peak. We've had fantastic fun controllers the whole way. And now they're neatly lining us all up on approach. Just brilliant. Let's just lower these screens. They're so bright. Right, time for the whole approach then. It's all displaying correctly. Second autopilot. MCP speed, Vorlock, glide slope, single channel.
Springbok 3, Chris, Springbok 332, contact Cape Town Tower, 18.1, good day.
118.1, Springbok 332. Thank you so much for your help. Have a good evening.
Goodbye.
Fantastic
Springbok
controlling.
365, 10 to 3,000.
Right, we are 11 miles out.
3,000 feet, Springbok 265.
Coming up to 170. We are flat 2. Actually, no, we can't do that. We've got to sit there. Okay. 181. Could have prepared that if I've been listening. 1.
Have a good day, Jeff.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go gear down flat 15 about 9 miles. It's very early for the gear, but you can't go to flat 15 early. Maybe we'll go to flat 10. Otherwise you get the gear horn in the 737, which is a bit of a strange setup, I think. Anyway, we are currently 10 miles. Which does match the DME 9.5 just about. So the reason it's not letting us do dual channel is because we only have the ILS on one side. So let's put this in that side. There we go. Tower, good evening. Springbok 332 ILS 19 at 9 miles. Right, let's put the next flap out. Flap 5, should have been 5.
332, Cape Town Tower, good evening. Runway 19, continue approach.
Continue approach 19, Springbok 332. Right, let's slow right down actually. Let's go 10. That's 10.
2,500.
Rad out is alive, which makes sense. 200 feet elevation, about right. We are coming back to a VAP of 142. I think I'm just going to set it. We're going to struggle to decelerate anyway. I don't want the power coming up. That's VREF 142. So actually it will be 147. Pretty fast. Pretty fast. Flat 15. We'll get the gear horn, won't we? Which I still don't understand why. So inconvenient. Right, get down. Flaps 30. Oh, that's too far. 30, please. Well, that's annoying. There we go.
Surface winds 180 degrees at 15 knots, runway 19 clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 19, Springbok 332. Lights are on. These can go to continuous.
Springbok 377, welcome to Cape Town.
We're vacating off to the
121.9er.
121.9er, thanks very much. Springbok 377.
Right, wherever we can. We are recording. Flaps haven't sat at 30. This is probably not having the correct notches on the thing. It always amazes me with Boeing's how fast the speed looks, but actually the pitch is about right. It's just that the way the red bar's so close there. Oh, that's cool. Look at Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now I can definitely turn the traffic back on because we don't have it because I've turned it all down for FS traffic. That's great. Just gonna be real. Flap 15, well, it's basically like flap 2, but on the Airbus you can go to flaps full. It won't give you any config warning until it gives you the GPWS, which I think is better. The risk is obviously you forget though. So we are stable. We are down. We got the flaps has gone to 40 again. Come on. Now you wouldn't change the flaps at this altitude, but this is a sim issue, not a setup issue. Right, let's sort out the auto thrusts. Back in the high sort of 50s. It does take a bit more power than the 700s. We are clear to land, so keep it at 58%.
500.
Definitely got flap 30, gear down. Yeah, almost 60% needed. Must take a lot of power on one engine, this. Flare mode is armed, but we're going to go. We've got the lights on, that's quite important for this.
300. Approaching
Yes.
minimums.
We'll pile off.
200.
Right, it's a bit out of trim there, so it's just gone straight up. Now this is harder to land than the 700, so you can. It seems to be more tail strike prone.
30. 20. 10.
Idle. There's touchdown. Just about got away with that in time. Let's get the reversers out. Spoilers have deployed, despite not arming them correct. No, I did arm them, I think. I can't remember now. Anyway, reverse, green, decelerating, and the ground spoilers are up. Look at that. Fantastic. Here we go. That was nearly a go around indeed, but we got away with it. It does float, this one. So we'll take auto brake off. And we're going to try and turn right here, which has worked out where we wanted. Fantastic. Welcome to Cape Town. How cool is this simulator that we can just do this and see what it's like. Look at the size of that city sprawling out towards the mountain over there. Just awesome. Let's vacate for a colleague behind.
Cape Town Tower, Springbok 265, flashes on the localizer 19.
Springbok 265, good day, Cape Town
What's
Tower.
going on here?
Continue
Come on,
approach,
turn
runway
around.
19.
There we go.
Continue approach 19, Springbok 265.
That's another function, not having a tiller. But there we go. Yeah, we got away with it. Has short legs, as he was. Yeah, this aircraft, and it has quite a low pitch limit. So when I was practicing, I just did a couple of landings with it, and you could really feel it just trying to pitch up on you. Like that was a bit like the Concorde, where I had to sort of hold the nose.
Surface winds 180 degrees at 16 knots, runway 19 clear to land.
And there we go, we are clear. I won't do the after landing flow because of course we want the replay, so I'm going to leave everything as it is, just put down the spoilers.
Springbok 332, welcome to Cape Town. Contact Cape Town ground on 121.9er.
119 Springbok 322, thanks very much. Alright, let's not go too far. We made it then. That took a while. 1219. Oh, this stuff's so hard to do when it's just one of you. That's my excuse. Cape Town ground, Springbok 332, good evening.
Springbok 332, good evening. Taxi to stand Alpha 10 via Charlie and Bravo.
Charlie Bravo, stand Alpha 10, Springbok 332, thank you, good night. we're on Charlie, then Bravo. And we're going to Alpha 10. Up on the main terminal. Let's go. Great flight, says Aaron Flood. Thank you very much. When are you back on again? I'm not sure. I'm hopefully next week. No, there'll be a queue for stand. Yeah, it could be. Quality moves at Alpha 8. Stormco says, smoothest landing I've seen you make so far. There we go. Yeah, that worked out. That was close to go round. So that was definitely luck. Leave all the lights on just because it looks so cool. Yeah, I like this plane. I think the 700 flies better, in my opinion. I just find it easier to land. I find the 737-700 from PMDG is my favourite aircraft to land. Not because I don't know whether it is accurate or not, but I like the way it lands. Predictable. Pitch power couple's quite obvious but controllable. This one is a little different. Things are a bit different. You're coming in quite fast. I mean, that was 150 knots we landed at, basically. Very sporty. Tends to float. But that's me certainly doing that. But there we go. There we go. We're catching up. And idle. Feels very fast. This feels really fast. I felt like we're going way too fast here, but we're not even doing 30 knots yet. Although the checklist I was using does say 20 knots, but I can't believe 737s are limited to 20 knots on the ground. That's pretty slow. Now we're not going to appear on there, but if we close that and I slow down a bit, I don't think it won't go as far as the actual stand numbers. So let's see if we can spot it. Oh, what am I looking for? Alpha 10. Alpha 6. Have I gone too far already? Gone too far, haven't I? Yep. Okay. Here's Alpha 10. It's much easier in real life. You have the markings aren't quite as obscured as that, but also you'd have markings over here as well, and you wouldn't be racing around at 30 knots in the apron. Quatty says, thoroughly enjoyed the flight. Always fun flying with you. Can't wait for the next stream and hope you enjoy your next podcast. I will enjoy it, I'm sure. But yeah, thank you for coming along. And thanks for flying along. Really appreciate it. Thanks everyone for flying along. Welcome to Cape Town. Default scenery here a bit better than it was at the other one at Johannesburg. Right, replay coming. I'm going to stop the recording. And here we go. We would, of course, now shut down. But we always have to park on stand till we get this far. Doesn't feel like a complete flight otherwise. There we go. So, welcome to Cape Town. Thank you for flying along. Let's go straight into the replay. Boom. There we go. James has picked up my gauntlet back up on that one. Airbus Air Tours hammer time. Yeah, that was quick. That was quick stuff. Another fine for missing the stand indeed. Yeah, we've not had much luck with our taxiing today. That's because it's not luck. Should have been looking better. Again, easy when there's two of you. Always the excuse. So, into the flare. We were right at the end of the touchdown zone. I think we did make it in the touchdown zone, but definitely at the end. Yeah, bit too much flare. Airplane again, very responsive because of the high speeds it's coming in at. Oh, that was not bad. That did look nice. And there we are down. Lovely. So, let's rewind. Not much else to say on that. A little bit of a float, but it worked out. A little bit lower.
500.
There's a big jump there. I don't know what happens there. Let's put it there. And I'm going to say, thank you all so much for coming along to the stream. Thank you for the incredibly kind donations, super chats. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words on the podcast. Do please keep spreading the word of the podcast, leaving the reviews. That really helps us. That's just so great. I'm so grateful for all your kind words on it. And thank you all to the moderators, of course, for looking after us today in the chat. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for watching. Thanks for just listening in. Really appreciate all of it. Flight Dispatch, thank you so much for yet another very generous tip. $6.19 tip. Really very kind. Flight Dispatch says, enjoyed that flight somewhere different. Thank you again. Now on to flight level 320. Excellent. Enjoy the podcast. And yeah, we'll be back soon. I've got, like I say, some more videos I need to make and also some more streams I want to do and the podcast to get done. So loads going on. But yeah, we will see you in another one of those various different formats soon. Keep safe and well, and yeah, thank you all again. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.